Hey there, everybody. How's it going? Donovan TPS here again with another episode of Reflections, a special episode. Normally in Reflections, it's very much more like a big interview, which is fine. They're fun. But this time, it's a special episode because we have with us one of the top fans of Donovan TPS, the one, the only, Carolyn. What's up, Carolyn?
Hey, how are you? I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, good to see you. Long time no see. How have you been?
I've been pretty good. I've been enjoying the fall weather and enjoying the interview.
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying it as well. We're gonna enjoy it when we jump into it. I'm already enjoying it because we go way back to 2 years ago, technically.
Technically,
Right?
we do, yeah, because I used to go to the pit
Yeah.
where you were also a student at the time, and I think we both went to the Tuesday night jams.
Yeah.
And I didn't perform, but I watched and I saw you multiple times on stage.
I remember
Yeah.
you used to tell me that in the early days. You were like, when we first met, you were like, yeah, I remember you from the jams. And I'm like, oh, I remember you too. And you were like, you didn't get up to perform at any of them, I think you said?
Yeah, I had really bad stage fright, so I
Aw.
would just kind of go with my classmates and cheer them on and try to get up the nerve to go up. And
Yeah.
I went up maybe once or twice. It took a lot, but I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I do remember you and a group of people that you played with. I remember you were very physical.
Yes, I am.
I always used to say, oh, there's that guy. He likes to crash into chairs and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
That's what I like doing on stage is I throw myself into a bunch of chairs
Yeah.
and all that fun stuff. I still do, even on Zoom if I can. I try to. Just moving that closer.
Those
so you
chairs
can-
don't get a break,
Yeah,
know?
those improv chairs have been quite destroyed over the years. If you noticed at the improv theaters,
Yeah.
they're like all broken up and stuff like that.
And they're all mostly from your...
from well
from your
no they're
scenes,
from
so-
other people.
No, I know.
I never broke I don't allegedly. I didn't break a chair. But yeah, I do remember you a little bit from those jams, but because we didn't really interact until the pandemic, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was lucky to fall into an improv jam, Zoom jam group,
Yeah.
NEO, New Improv Order. And I was kind of there almost from the beginning. I think it
Yeah.
started at the end of March. And so were you. I think, well, you were a founder.
I was like co-founder.
Yeah.
That's what this says on my resume.
Yeah.
It looks good,
Well,
Um,
the other co-founder brought me in, and there you were. And, we started jamming together almost every day, pretty much.
And you've been a part of pretty much almost all the online shows I've done in terms of mashup teams, whether it's like improvised Nintendo show or improvised science fiction movie or, improvised Seinfeld episode. You've been pretty much there's like usually two or three main people. I think you're like one of the three main people who's like on almost every show.
Yeah, I think
mean-
I was pretty much on every show except for one.
Yeah, the
Because I
impromptu
wasn't
one.
available.
Yeah.
There was an impromptu one and I wasn't available.
Yeah.
So other
you-
than that, it's like 20 something.
20 shows, Not only that, we've been a part of I think almost three, was it 2 or 3 festivals? I put down like
At least. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're talking about probably
a bunch.
2 or 3 at least.
Yeah.
And then there were more that we did as part of NEO or as a mashup team of yours.
Yeah,
we did a few.
The Independence Day Festival run by Socially Distant and the Pit. I think there was like the co-sponsorship, and then Palm Beach
Palm Beach.
Festival, which was awesome. Done shows like Just for Laughs. We've done shows like on the same team as
Right.
other, the Cookie Show or whatever.
Your favorite cookie.
Your favorite
That was
my-
out of Baltimore. We did
That was
one out of
fun.
Arizona as well, the Flying Pig Theater.
I remember. I think was that. No, you were there. Was I there for that one? Wasn't there one I missed?
Oh, I thought you were.
I forget.
I think you were there. You were there for the Singapore one
The
that we
Stoner
did.
one, the 24-hour
We did
Stoner
Stoner
Festival.
We did one out of Singapore
The
as well.
improv in Singapore was fun. So we've done a
Whole
bunch.
Yeah.
A bunch of shows, and then eventually, I think it was like one time you were like, "Oh, check out this sequestered film" to a friend, and it was my friend. It was my film, and I was like, "Oh, do you like my videos or something?" And then we started talking about like videos. I think right. It was
Yeah. No, it was. I think it was called the All Man. The one that I
Oh,
I
yeah.
mentioned. It was like your second one from Sequester. It wasn't the very first, but the one that I first commented on
Yeah.
in a group chat was, "Hey everybody, you should watch this film.
And I was like,
It's really good. Donovan was really good." Da da da. So
thank
then,
you. I try.
yeah.
I was like, wonder is she a fan? And then anyway, eventually started talking, and then it was like, oh yeah, you do like the videos, and then I'm like, well, do you want to see more? And then I think you were like, oh sure, and then you just opened up a whole can of worms,
Next
right?
thing I know,
There's
I had
like,
a million
Jesus,
videos
yeah.
in my inbox.
Did did you expect that when I was like, or what'd you expect first? Because like, oh man, and we'll dive into like the more deepness of it, obviously, but. All
Well,
Man is like the first one you saw of mine. Was that correct?
well, I
Or
know, I'm not sure because I know that there was one called Honey, 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 which was the very first sequestered entry.
that what?
I
I
think
think so. I was confused which one is
But
the
I
first.
think I don't know, one of those two, I think I saw All Man first, and that's the one that I commented on, and
Yeah.
then I might have seen Honey, Honey, because then I started looking like, hey, what
Yeah.
are these films? And then, yeah, you started sending me a
I'll,
lot of films.
yeah.
I didn't know that you had, like, at least 1,000 films,
Or
or something to that effect. I'm like,
yeah, it's over.
one at a time.
Yeah, I know. It's, well, so I forgot. I think I forgot to mention in the intro, but Reflections is basically, you know, since I have been uploading for 13 years and I've uploaded over 1,000 uploads of whatever it is, vlogs or character sketches or short films or excuse me, reviews. Burping, Jesus Christ, all that food. You know whatever it is. Like I've made a lot of memories and I've made a lot of bonds with people, and so I thought, you know, I'll do this and it's all about like also like personal lives. But this is a special episode because it's like yes, we're hearing a little bit about you, but since you are like one of the top fans and you're always talking to me about what universe does this take place in, how is this film related, you know, how why is that the same, is Gandalf the same as Randolph, is that Randolph the same as that one, like, you know, and so you became like, you know, really
Yeah.
like every time you had a question I had an answer.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about what the timelines and the multiverse and this character's the same character in that video and like tell me about that, I guess,
Well,
early.
Oh, I was going to say, I found out that you're the man with multiple multiverses. And I actually, you know, I find it fascinating that you can create all of that in your head. Like, what kind of a mind can come up with all of these different characters, all of these timelines, all of these multiverses? So, I mean, I find that really creative and impressive. And I have a lot of questions because my brain doesn't always follow a lot of multiverses, and I want to know more, you know? And a lot of the films that I chose, as you're going to see, they are part of maybe a particular storyline or multiverse or timeline, but the ones that I chose for this discussion, they can also stand alone for the most part.
Oh yeah.
So I can also interpret them in my own way and get my own connection to them, regardless of the bigger story. But they also work with the bigger stories. So
yeah,
yeah,
and yeah, that's the thing. You know, like I've been creating, as you know, sci-fi since 2002, and I was even before 2002 was always using my imagination to create little toy movies or write even little short stories or even like little doodles. I was always like I've always been creating something, and so since 2002 I've been writing my sci-fi series, which is copyrighted and I belongs to me, and eventually I need to get on the ball and write short stories. That's something I need to overcome. But in terms of other writing, in terms of short films and sketches and even recently feature films, as I've told you, I've been able to write I wrote a play. They're like first drafts, but I still 5 feature films, multiple short films written as well as produced, and of course the improv shows. I just always love creating content, and like I have an idea like every day, and I'm like, okay, cool, let me try this, and I'm not, you know, I haven't been able to do my big sci-fi movies as you've seen, but I'm still able to do sci-fi stories even without maybe a big spaceship or a big super, as you've seen with sometimes you don't need fancy effects.
Right, yeah. Well, just to speak to what you just said, it's like you have a lot of ideas and you kind of just do it, you know?
Yeah.
So you do it every day. Like you'll get an idea for a story or for a film, and you're able to create it with like not maybe the big spaceship effects that that you would need a big budget for, and space and time, and probably not be in quarantine. But you're prolific in that way. You're like,
thanks.
Kind of like Stephen King of short films.
You hear that,
writing,
Stephen King? You son
writing,
of a...
and you know, you bang it up, but you bang out good stuff. You know?
Yeah, I try. So. Yeah, it's certainly gotten better over the years. You know, like when I first started, even though of course I love my early stuff, I was learning. I was a kid with a camera, a kid in high school with a camera, or a kid with a VHS camera, and you learn. And that stuff evolves. But I also love, like, now I've been able to connect it all, you know. And I was always, you know, we're going to dive into the videos in a second, but I think I told you ever since the beginning I wanted it to be connected. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember I told you?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like with the Pink Dog sequels, and then Pink Dog makes a cameo in Chicken Little's Revenge, and Pink Dog is in the music video, or the gorilla, the kid who plays the gorilla is in Gorilla 1 and 2, and then he's in Pink Dog 4. You know, I'm trying to think what else. Mikey, you know, Mikey the Rat appears in a bunch of films. He makes a prank call. You know.
Sometimes he's rubber and sometimes he's stuffed.
Sometimes he's stuffed.
Yeah.
Then there's like the Donovan TPS videos, which are like, what if these characters all got along, and Pink Dog was a prankster, and you know, and Sir Turkey and stuff, and then
there was also Pink Dog as what was the female Pink Dog?
Oh, recently,
recently, like, you know, with a different personality, and you know.
Sandra, and then there's the Queen one who's in the new one. Yeah. So like every era is different, you know, and like now with Sequestered, which is a great film festival. I love it, run by Annie Sage, and I just love, like, whenever I get a prompt, I'm able to make a film. And I always have an idea, even if it's not my favorite idea, I can still do a new idea to create content with, as you've seen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just love, and even like Sequestered has done a lot of world building, more than I think. There was already world building, as you've seen in the old videos,
right?
Because it's Sequestered, and I know, and I can do all this stuff a lot easier. Sequestered probably has the most world building, I think. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, the interesting part about Sequestered is like I said, a lot of the list that we're going to talk about today, a chunk of them are from Sequestered.
Yeah.
And you can watch them as standalone without knowing all the past characters and the multiverses and stuff.
Yeah.
But they are all a part of that, and they are all a continuation. So
in a way, yeah.
Definitely the world building is there.
Yeah.
And
some are definitely more standalone, as we'll get into.
Some of them
what were you
are,
gonna say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was gonna say that it's like I can just come in off the street and say, what's this video, and watch it.
Yeah.
And feel connected to it. And then I can learn, or as I already know, is that a lot of the characters, it's part of this multiverse, or different timelines and continuations and prequels and all that stuff. So, yeah, you're able to take a prompt and you can put it in your world if you want, and you could also make it standalone. Yeah. You know?
Depends on how I'm feeling with that week. I do need to get a new cell phone. I've been trying to get a damn new cell phone because I'm running out of space. And so I have to, I just delete like shots from the video, you know, because they're not really like groundbreaking shots I need to save. But yeah, I do need a new phone. So that's why some short films in the next few weeks might be a little shorter because of that, but it's okay. I'm still going to keep producing.
Right, yeah. You put the short film, they're going to be minute long.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Well, that's the Sequestered, I think, is between 1 and 4 minutes, basically. 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no. I knew I was going to screw up.
How could you? Yeah, so like I said, absolutely love Sequestered. And I'm trying to think, like, I'm sure I would have produced content. I don't know if it would have been every week, even though I do produce a lot of content, but I love like having the prompt, you know, and I think that's, but like I think I still would have been able to produce content as I always do, but definitely the prompt helps, and having like a deadline, but I just think it would have been a little less videos. Maybe it would have been not 26, probably would have been like 10 or 15. It still would have been a decent amount.
Well, I mean, seeing what I see, knowing what I know, like you would definitely be producing content. I mean, even besides this, you're doing the writing and and you know a lot of other things. So I think you definitely would have done films, but you're also a structured person, and I can see that having this is the weekly prompt. You know, you get the prompt and you shoot it and you edit it and you do something great, and I think that works with your style as well, having the weekly structure.
Yeah.
You know?
Like with improv, it's like you have a suggestion. But yeah, like I said, just it's easier for me to shoot now and do things and play different characters and be able to edit a lot easier. Like in the old days, when I first had my camera, it would have been like, oh my god, I can't do that. Like if you watch When Toys Attack 1 and 2, which will be up, you've seen a little bit of, you know, like now I could execute that way easier, and you don't. Like there's me pushing the toys, like, oh, we're all moving, all the toys are moving, and so you see me pushing the toys.
Right.
But now I would know how to do that without you seeing my hands,
right?
Or without me having to move like I could move the toy, like move the toy under the camera and move the toy, you know. So you learn, you know.
You can execute it better now. You're saying because you've learned more. You know?
Yeah. You know, I went to film school, so it took a bit. But yeah, definitely now, like, if I wanted to remake, like, a Pink Dog or remake, like, a When Toys Attack, it would come out a lot better, definitely.
Yeah.
Even by myself.
And even just using a cell phone, because that's what the requirement is. Yeah.
Not saying I'm going to remake When Toys Attack for all the fans of that film. They were like, I want a damn remake. All three of you.
Damn it.
You know?
We wanted it. But you know what I do want to note is that Pink Dog is the same actor, the same Pink Dog. Because when I see the old films, Pink Dog is very fresh and bright and pink and great skin. And now it's kind of, you can see the age of the dog itself.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I killed him off. I had to kill him off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he died in the...
But because of his aging? Is that why?
Yeah, because then it's hard for me to go back and do the original character unless it's a different timeline. Right. So I had to kill him off and bring new Pink Dog characters.
So you can actually get a new Pink Dog.
I could get a new...
Physically.
There could be a new Pink Dog bad guy coming in eventually, but I think Lord Xavier's time was up. I like him, but I think it was like his story arc was complete.
Yeah.
And I was like... And I always wanted to... Technically, I always really wanted to kill him off. And now...
You couldn't have just retired him, but I guess he was evil for the most part.
Well, he'll come back. It's a multiverse.
That's true. That's true. Nothing.
Yeah. He's retired, but he'll come back.
I mean, one day his hand's gonna pop out of the grave, like in the horror movies when you think they're dead, and no, they're back.
For the sequel.
But it's gonna be a little pink paw coming out of the grave.
Imagine.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
I like that. Let's work on that as the
Pink Dog 1,
sequel.
2, 3, 4. The Boy and His Pink Dog, and then there's 6 Pink Dog films. And I joked at one of the beginning of my music videos years ago, like, wow, I'm gonna make Pink Dog 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Pink Dog 7, Pink Dog versus Cody. So now I need to make Pink Dog 7. I need to make Pink Dog versus Cody, and then it will be complete from the music video.
Oh, nice. So
Pink Dog 7 could be in an alternate timeline. But,
yeah, I'm sure it will be.
Well, we've discussed enough fun stuff. Now I think it's time. So yeah, like I said, this is a special episode because Carolyn has picked her top 10, narrowed it down from like 100 short films. Yeah, I think we only stuck to like short films, it looks like, which is cool.
Definitely.
I can't believe you didn't pick the senior trip vlog. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, come on.
It was a joke.
It was number
you
11.
Watch it.
If you had said 11, you know that was number 11.
Yeah, that's a fun... Go watch that on YouTube.
Go watch it.
Me and Patricia on the senior trip.
Nice.
And it's just like
you should have seen it. I felt like I was there with them.
It was, fun quick story about that. The senior trip, there was like a drag queen contest, or like the boys would dress up as girls, the girls would dress up as boys. I think that's the correct term. Yeah. And then they did like a little contest, and I heard that there was a security guard. Like if people were filming, he was telling them to delete the footage. I think because I was so far up, like filming, I was like I never got caught. So I don't even know if it's not bad footage.
Why did he want the footage deleted, I wonder?
I don't know. But who knows? But I mean, it's not bad footage. It's just the kids are dressing up. It's in front of a crowd. It's in front of everybody.
Right,
and it's blurry though, because I zoomed in and my camera was like, but I'm like, oh, thank God that...
But you caught it.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill, that's another thing, because you're an excellent archivist. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Like, you keep it all. You've got it all. You've got it all organized.
Yeah. All right, we're back here. What's up, Carolyn? Welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
Yeah. Probably people are going to be like, why am I saying that? Well, we paused. Then they're going to be like, well, there wasn't a break in the audio because you just kept going.
Yeah,
but it's funny.
Sometimes you need to go to the restroom.
Yeah. Well, and also in case you pause, you can pause this at any time.
Oh, so the listeners can go to the restroom too and not miss a beat. That's amazing.
You don't have to walk away and you're gonna miss it. Cool. So we're gonna dive into Carolyn's top 10. So you said it was what, mostly Sequestered, but you do in a few other films. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think there's about 7 from Sequestered.
Yeah, I'm gonna move it so I can see it as well.
Oh, okay.
A little bit.
Let's
All
see
right,
the
cool.
list.
Is that
Yeah.
cool?
I mean, that's because that's where I began. I could start to talk about the first one I saw, but
Yeah.
maybe I'll let you lead the way.
Well, we could go in this order. This order's fine.
Yeah.
You know, like let me just scroll. Yeah, maybe let's do. I mean, there's no particular order, right? You just made the playlist.
Right.
It's
but
not like
no particular order, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at All Man right now, like that I was gonna start talking about.
Do you want? Well, hold on. Let
Yeah.
me to make it easier because you could rearrange.
Okie dokie.
So this way we don't like, oh, did I miss
Right.
that? Because we could go like in order if you want, or we could like be like, oh, I want to do this one next. Then let me know, and we'll.
Yeah.
So this way it's like we did that one, we did that one. We're looking at a YouTube playlist for those watching at home. Just so what do you think? We want to try that? We try.
Yeah, that's
Soul
fine.
Stew?
Yeah.
Alright.
No,
Cool.
I was just thinking because you asked that most of them were from Sequestered,
Yeah.
and I was gonna say, well, the first film of yours that I ever saw
It's already
was
on here.
All Man.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, oh, okay, well, I know this person as an improv guy.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, look, he's a filmmaker as well. That's when I first discovered. That's why I wanted to talk about this first.
Yeah. This is I think the second Sequestered or first or one of the. I think it is the second one. Yeah. This is just probably
Yeah.
like super weird in my opinion, in a good way. You know.
Well, that's why I liked it.
Yeah.
Because I saw it. I'm like, well, let me watch this. It must have popped up somewhere. And I was like, wow, I didn't know you did this.
Yeah.
You know, I see you as this character in a wig doing a really interesting voice. And
Yeah. With the glasses and the.
glasses and a crazy Warhol-esque
There's Mikey,
blonde wig.
Mikey the Rat, you know, who makes an appearance.
Yeah.
You know, he's silent. It's a silent Mikey the Rat cameo for all the fans.
Well, that's what I think that I liked about it. I like the weirdness and anxiety of this crazy character, and he's talking to these stuffed animals, basically. First there's a chicken.
And Mr. Horse.
And
yeah.
Mr. Horse comes out.
Yeah.
But this is what caught my eye, because you're talking about some figure you see outside the window and you're freaking out about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you turn around and you look at the chicken, and then the timing of like the pause is great, because it's as if the chicken is talking, which he's not.
There's
but
Donkey Kong has a cameo as well.
obviously
know?
he hears it.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong is the next person that he's conversing
my favorite
with.
ape, who I don't own the rights
Yeah,
to, but
yeah.
it's okay. Yeah, I mean, this is just. I think I realized I was like, you know, I could do like more characters in these videos, even though they don't really talk, you know, except for blonde-haired man who. I don't know if I named him. I don't think he's not the All Man, obviously, because as you see in the 8 later videos.
Right. Yeah.
But like, yeah, even just like the facial expressions, and I think this one I was like, let me just get silly as possible and weird for this one.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about it, and I
Yeah.
liked like the other characters being the stuffed animals that don't say anything, and also the man pops out of the closet with the horse head, like you said.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
but it's like
Mr. Horse. Yeah, what were you
Mr.
gonna
Horse.
say? Allegedly, one of those, or a different one. What were you gonna say?
But that's what I this is what caught my eye. I'm like, I didn't know you've made films. I didn't know that you made these incredible characters, and that you made use of these animals, Donkey Kong and whatnot.
Yeah.
As he's actually thinking he's having a conversation with them, and I just thought it was really amazing. And that's when I said, oh wait, let me see.
Well, I think he was. He is, but you just in some films I'll play the dialogue of the characters, and then like the film like sequence 15, if you remember, when it's like the guy outside talking to the toys.
Yeah.
Like technically they were talking to him. I didn't provide the voices, so sometimes
Right.
like,
Yeah.
you know, so it's not like, oh, they're actual toys. They were supposed to be like these are, but maybe only he can hear them. The all
Right.
man or
Exactly.
the blonde man, not David Tannenbaum.
Right.
Just different blonde-haired character that I play.
Right. Well, I mean, it's clear that they're actual characters.
Yeah.
But, like, the style of this, was really interesting to me.
Yeah. Thank you.
know?
Yeah.
Without hearing that you're doing a voice for them, I know a lot of the films that you do.
Yeah.
But this is the first one I saw, and I was like, oh wow, you know.
Yeah. I just make sure like you talking to the mic.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was
Got
good.
it.
Cool. We gotta make sure. New to the audio thing.
Darn technology.
Yeah. Down technology. Yeah. So like I said, it was fun and sort of a Waiting for Godot type of vibe. I don't know if you're familiar with that, where it's like we describe, even though yes we see the All Man later in videos. one video. I think one video. Well, it's on the list actually. But it's like very Waiting for Godot of like, oh, there he is. He's out there, or he's coming. You never see Godot in Waiting for Godot.
Right. Exactly.
So
yeah.
who is Godot?
Yeah.
I don't know, but.
Well, my question is, why is this guy so panicky about it? Why is he so...
Yeah.
It's like a combination of excitement, panic, anxiety, and just a really weird dude.
I think...
Chick peeking out the window.
Yeah. I don't
getting
know if
excited.
I don't know if I wanted to make the all man... Like, because I think that the text at the end is very, like, horror-like, so I don't know if I was trying to go for kind of a horror vibe, and then I just changed it all of a sudden due to the process of, like, filming, and then made it more like a weird vibe. So I don't know if, because to me, oh man, the text at the end was like, oh, this is something you don't want to mess with.
Right.
But then later, you see the oh man, and as we'll get to, it's he's not a bad guy. But I wonder if like this guy's just paranoid.
Right.
And
well, to me, it's like a psychological vibe of like this guy's psychology, being paranoid and
like he's definitely off his knocker, I guess.
Yeah.
This guy, but the other characters are actual characters too, so maybe it's just a weird universe,
right?
Where everything is weird.
No, that's and I love weird, so I was like, let me
too.
See some more films.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I like it's a very standalone film in a sense, I think. But like I said, it does lay the groundwork for like even the other sequestered films where there are other characters. I mean, obviously, like I said, they don't talk, but I realize like even Multiverse Shield, where it's like different, and that one you have characters talking. This one is like a way pre like Multiverse Shield, where it is different characters even if they aren't talking, but it's a lot of those cuts like wow and reactions. So it's kind of the same.
Well, like you just said, you put words into my mouth. The cuts and the reactions are another thing that I was really impressed with.
Yeah. Well, they don't get killed at the end like in Multiverse Shield where everybody gets blown up, and these characters maybe I should do that. The man in white comes in and blows them up.
That's why this is on my list. And the other one I love, but I like when they don't all get killed.
Yeah, but Man in White.
I don't like all that death. But I do. Yeah, no, that's a good film too. But I'm glad they didn't get killed in this one.
But now I have to kill Mr. Chicken.
They all get killed in the end. That's what
It's a different Mr. Chicken. It's different from. Mr. Chicken is from the Bro Prince.
So no actual chickens were harmed in the filming.
No, it's just a doll.
That
Jesus Christ.
Death end.
They're gonna email me. No, I'm just kidding. Cool. You want to move on to next one? I think.
Yeah,
I think we talked about the All Man enough. So is it this one, or should we talk about another one that we can move in the playlist?
It's up to you.
It's whatever you want to.
Yeah.
Well, this one is fun. Let's do this. I mean, they're all fun.
Oh yeah.
Let's do Pick a Present.
That was really sweet.
Cool. This is a. Yeah. This is not. I don't have that much to talk. I don't have that much to talk about this one, but it's very simple.
But I do.
I know you do. Well, so tell me, why do you like this film? I'll say real quick about this one. I like this film, and it's very simple for me, but it also marks the return of an old school character. So tell me about it.
Well, again, it does have an old school character, which is Mikey the Rat.
The original.
The original.
The rubber one.
It's the rubber one. I like the rubber one.
Yeah, you don't like that doll shit.
Yeah, no doll shit. No, I like both, but I'm fond of the rubbery one.
Yeah.
But here's another example. This is a character from from the multiverses, but you can watch this as a standalone. And what I take away from this is emotional, because I see there's a rat, and he's got this voice like dirty rat, and he's presenting these beautiful big flashy wrestling belts that look really heavy and expensive. And he's just like, you pick a present.
Yeah.
And we see Donovan's character in the red sunglasses and the baseball hat, and he's rubbing his chin, and he's kind of stone-faced, but that inside he's like, I'm getting a present, and he's so carefully selecting from these 4 or 5 belts. I guess there's 4.
There's 5.
5.
Yeah.
And he's just like picking up each one and touching them, a whole time kind of stone-faced, but inside he's so excited to be getting a present, and I find that really, really sweet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could continue.
Yeah, no, whatever you want to say, because I'll say some stuff as well.
Okay.
I like hearing, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just the word that keeps coming out for me is sweet, because Mikey the Rat is kind of gruff. He's a rat with a gruff voice. He's just given this dude a present, and he doesn't seem like he's like Oscar the Grouch. Like, he's not going to give anybody a present.
Yeah.
But here he is. He's kind of sweet. He's like, hurry up, just pick the damn present, as if he's annoyed. But you know that he also loves giving it. So it's like these two people experiencing the joy of giving and getting, and they're both kind of toning it down and hiding it. And the way it's filmed with Donovan's character doesn't really say anything.
Oh yeah, I think I'm silent. Yeah, I'm silent the whole one. Yeah.
But I just know that he's so excited and happy. And then what's the final line from Mikey the Rat?
I think it's like I have to go see Tony now.
Yeah, and
right?
you're expecting him to do something bad or evil, like take the belt away, but it doesn't happen. He's like, okay, and enjoy your present. Not
I'm gonna go.
In so many words. And I was like, oh, it's a very sweet film, and it's also well filmed. So
yeah, thank you.
Like I said, the old characters come back, and they can sometimes fall into a bigger picture story, but I get touched by the emotional stuff, and I thought that this was just overall really sweet.
Yeah, and I really, because sometimes, like I said, sometimes with the films, whether it's time or I just have a more simple concept, and this is one of those simple concepts, but it's probably one of my favorite simple concepts that I've done, because some of the other ones I still like, but they're maybe not my favorite, you know what I mean? But this to me is also one of my favorites because I love the lighting on the belts. I use mostly natural lighting for these cell phone films, these short, sequestered films. But I just love the lighting on the wrestling belts always looks great. So I think that's why I did it. The lighting, they just look very, especially the camera's nice on a cell phone.
It is true. It's like a beautiful natural light. It looks like maybe afternoon, late afternoon-ish.
Normally
3-ish or something.
I film in the afternoon.
I would guess.
But they look nice, and then I love the edits I made here. Where it's just it's very easy transition of he gets the belt and then he puts it on. And a quick story, I was gonna use the doll Mikey the Rat, and originally I couldn't really find it at first, and so I was like, oh, I'll just use the rubbery one. So but then I did find a doll one before I made it, and I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I used the old one for this? Because I'm building more of a multiverse, and I was like, they're different Mikeys. They could be different Mikeys.
Right.
It doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm gonna do this, and it's funny, even at the end, and I think I did this by accident. His line is all right, I got lunch, or he mentioned in the film, I got lunch with Tony. Mm-hmm. And then I realized, I think I just said that because, he's an Italian rat. But Tony is the person he meets in Two for the Road. Okay. Remember Two for the Road, the film producer at the beginning?
I think I do.
And he's like, Mikey, hey, what's up, Big Tony?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so I'm like, wait, did I do that subconsciously? And I'm like, I just connected two films.
Okay.
So he's like, I'm going to go meet with Tony. And then it would lead into that film.
Right.
But I think I did it by accident.
Well, that's what's the cool thing about this and some of the other films, because it's very you. It's like Mikey the Rat, obviously. And then the wrestling belts is one of your biggest loves.
Things,
is wrestling. And you have these beautiful belts. So it's got so many elements of you in it.
Yeah.
But it also speaks to an emotion or something like a sweet, simple kind of thing of giving and receiving and the joy and trying to kind of hold back when oh, I'm so happy that he likes these belts. And he's like, oh, I really like these belts. And they're both kind of like dudes in a way, So it's elements of you, but it's also a something that can touch someone who might not even know you or your interests or your film,
Yeah.
So that's what I like about it as well.
Yeah, Mikey's always been a good guy. The first film, he makes a prank call, and then the second film, the toys attack him, and then the third film, he gets killed, but then it's a dream.
Yeah.
And then we don't see that Mikey for a long time and then he comes back as a doll.
Yeah.
So this is the first time in a while we've seen the original since Two for the Road. When was it a dream at the end? I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
It ends with Anthony Ramos is but it wasn't. And I'm like, was it a dream?
Yeah, it's open to interpretation. I remember that.
I don't even know at this point. That film is just a collection of clips.
Yeah,
it's a good film, but it's a fun film. Yeah.
But the thing about Mikey is too, it's he's not a bad guy. He just has that kind of gruffness, like Oscar the Grouch, or it's like the joke that there's dads and they're like, get this cat or this dog away from me. It gets on my nerves, and then you catch the dad cuddling with the cat. Yeah. So that's kind of like Mikey the Rat. It's I don't really want to be nice, but then you catch him being nice, like giving a gift.
Yeah, that's because he's a nice. His friend Daniel in the other films, aka Andrew, he's friends with him.
That's true. Yeah.
Except in the Rage Prince finale when it's the bad one, and then Andrew just slices him up when he attacks him.
No, I could be guilty of generalizing about rats because rats have a rep as being.
Yeah. It might be a
dirty rats, but I like rats. So.
It might have been a mouse toy, but I think Mikey the Rat sounded cooler to me.
Yeah.
Mikey the Mouse would have been too much like
Yeah.
another Mickey the Mouse.
Oh, I think it's too small for a mouse. I think it's a rat.
It's a rat. Yeah. Well, we all know who would win in a fight. Mikey the Rat would slam Mickey Mouse down.
You never know.
It's a challenge.
It's always the quiet ones.
To Walt Disney, no, just
yeah.
Disney's gonna be like, can you remove that? Cool. Do you want to move on to?
Yeah, sure.
This one is search or
sure?
No?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Right. Well, we have a lot to talk about this one.
Woo.
This one, the search, the Magic Water Search. For those who don't know, is part of the Rage Apocalypse finale series, and it's like a documentary style movie. So, what do you love about this one?
Kind of like it's fun. First of all, I'm gonna say, but it's filmed outside in a park, and we start with Richard Cherry.
Yeah,
I believe it was his name, and he's looking for this magic water.
Yeah,
and he has to go into this forest, and so it's actually filmed during the day in this pretty tree area.
Yeah,
and he goes in and he encounters all of these different characters, and I just find that really fun. Like he's walking through, and there's a guy in his underwear with a horse head.
I wonder who that is.
Well, it could be Donovan. I don't know who else would do. And it's just this kind of fun. You know that it's a multiverse, or it's the multiverse forest.
Yeah.
So you know it's kind of a fantasy land, but it's being filmed in a real place.
Like documentary style.
Like Blair Witch style.
Yeah.
Even though it's daylight. It's just, I find it fun. Okay, here comes a guy in a, like
That's Lord. Yeah.
He looks like Skeletor to me. I want to say Skeletor, but it's Lord
Kanabuto or something.
And yeah, so he pops out at Richard Cherry. And Richard Cherry, I like that Richard Cherry finally encounters Gandalf, I believe.
Yeah, well, yeah, technically they were in Idiot's Quest together. Well, this is in another... So I'll say real quick, this is like multiverse stuff in the finale series, and then in order to save my character, Richard goes into the multiverse forest to get magic water, and then it's like a documentary, because we made a Chainsaw Legend here.
Right, okay.
Which is like a
scary one.
Yeah, it's a found footage type of film, early found footage from 2008. So it's like, oh, we should go make it here, because nobody's normally here. And then it's just, if you're like a fan of my movies, like there's Mr. Horse,
right? Yeah.
You know, and there's multiverses, and there's Randolph or Gandalf from Idiot's Quest. It's kind of like a conclusion to Idiot's Quest in a way. What were you gonna say?
Right. Well, I was gonna say like you're describing the story of the multiverse, and I love all that too. But the thing that I also like that stands out to me is always like the connection. So at one point, Richard's walking through the forest.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm distracted by the naked horseman.
I know,
sorry.
it's okay.
And then Gandalf pops out.
Yep.
And he's in it for a chunk of time, and they're basically walking together, and they have this really kind of delightful connection, like a chemistry. And the part that's fun is they're walking through this pretty forest during the day, and they're discussing different things, and also the mission. But I'm pulled in by the friendly connection that they have, and it's also like a funny kind of banter. Donovan plays Gandalf, and the acting's really, really, really fun and really good.
Yeah.
And this is what I enjoy seeing them walking through. So, like I said, a lot of times I connect to like chemistry and emotions and stuff, but it's also part of like a multiverse and like a really fascinating story. So.
Yeah, like a really. This is, I think, because I know I told you, like, I copyrighted my sci-fi series, and then I realized there was a lot more I could do with the videos, over the years, even though, yes, there are subtle hints in each video to a bigger universe and even references in the old videos. But this is one of those, I don't know, maybe it is one of the first where I realized, like, I could have a multiverse. Because, like, even when me and Patricia Richard, as she was known then, in this film, it's Richard, is known in the film. We even talk about like, hey, you're I counted a fantasy character. That's Richard's character that Richard created. The demon runs up to me. What's the name of Pink Dog's name? Oh, it's Lord Xavier. So it's very, and then of course Gandalf, who's now known as Randolph, is from Idiot's Quest, and I hadn't played that character in a long time, and that series sort of just ended.
Right.
So I thought we kind of. What if in the universe it's like, well, the series ended in YouTube. Yeah, the series ended in 2008, but Gandalf's universe was destroyed in 2008 as well. So it's like a connection. Like, why did the YouTube series end? Well, the YouTube series might have ended subconsciously because the universe ended.
Right.
from the Rage Prince.
Yeah. Well, then I can start to ask you. You explained to me before about the YouTube universe and then the real life universe.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to get into that, but
I'll explain it real quick. So to me, there's like there's already 3 different timelines, but there's a lot more obviously. But there's one, the timeline that like we live in, where everything is a YouTube video and a film. There's 2, every timeline from the film or YouTube exists in its own universe.
Right.
Meaning, so like the events of like say Idiot's Quest happen exactly like that in a real universe. And 3, there's the universes we don't see but hear about. Like for instance, this Gandalf, he's not from the Idiot's Quest, say, universe that you saw on YouTube.
Right.
And he's not from this universe. He's from a completely different Idiot's Quest universe where they've all been killed and there's more fantasy involved.
Right.
You know, there's more magic and there's more beast and there's more. He mentions it a little bit, like there's bigger creatures and stuff like that. But then there's also an infinite number in those 3 those 3 variables. There's definitely like an infinite number, so that means there's an infinite number of multiverses.
Right.
But there's always at least 3. But there's more.
And those are the ones that I can grasp. Like, the one is you and me sitting here watching a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Right? And then number 2 is like this YouTube video actually happened. Yeah. It existed.
Yeah.
Not just us watching a show.
Yeah. Then there's the one we hear about. Yeah. Or the one we don't see.
Right. Yeah.
But if we saw that, it would just be in that category of the third.
Right.
You know, what he's describing. And I was almost gonna show it in this video, actually, or one of these videos. So I'll say real quick. I wanted to have something where there was like we had I think her name was Shayna. She was in the Idiot's Quest as well. And actually, like, you know, we're still friends on Facebook. The other people I'm not friends with on Facebook anymore, or they don't have Facebook, or you know. She was gonna be in town one day in like Coney Island, and I think it might have been this day. I'm not sure. So I wanted to film like a little flashback thing on the beach. It probably wouldn't have had much dialogue, but it would have showed like the Rage Prince without his face in his first form, like wiping out, like punching, you know, my character to the ground, punching Richard on the ground, and then like drawing a blast at her because she was in the Idiot's Quest, and it was going to be like a flashback of like how, because we hear that Rage Prince destroyed his universe, so I was going to do a quick flashback because I was going to have her, I was going to have Richard and myself, but it never happened. So unfortunately, guess she didn't realize we were going to film that day, or she got busy. And so I was like, well, I don't want to I'm like, it's okay. We'll just mention it. So that's why we have a mention of like, you know.
Yeah. It's a shame that there's so many ideas, especially, like I said, and you got such a mind with so many ideas. But unfortunately, I guess not everything gets filmed. Yeah. But like one thing I want to say about this, like you're describing the different multiverses and the characters, but these characters themselves are really, really fun to watch. And I think that's another reason why I like this one, because Gandalf right here, who I'm watching, he's like a really appealing, fun, interesting character. You know, story is great. Aside from that, just watching them, they're just fun characters that you can identify with and enjoy.
Yeah, and I've told, you know, Richard that I think this is the best performance. You know, I think, and just in terms of all the 3 videos and the 3 finale videos that Richard makes an appearance in, I think this is the best acting.
I think it's the most I've seen her. The biggest role I've seen so far. Yeah.
So, and then like we have the despair in it. So yeah, I love doing films like this, as you've known, whether it's like The Search or the Dewey Incident or Stalker or Chainsaw Legend. I think found footage films are probably one of my favorite category, or documentary style, like silly, you know, stuff. Yeah. So I had a ball with this.
And you got to play a lot of characters and wear a lot of costumes, and there's also space to run around.
Yeah.
So it seems like really fun for you as well.
Because I'm Gandalf, I'm the Despair, I'm the Horseman, I'm the Skull Man.
Was the Gandalf part, was a lot of that ad lib or something? It just seems really natural.
Yeah, it was. We had a plot, and then you know, we were like, we're gonna be in this forest, we're gonna have a conversation, we'll have this, we'll do that. It's a lot of improv.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
You know, and then just me directing, like, hey, look, make sure you get the camera looking here. I'll watch the footage afterwards. That was good. But yeah, very good with the camera work. Patricia was great with the camera and amazing.
So she was doing the filming these parts.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So
filming and acting.
Yeah, one of the first times I was
nice.
like, do all this stuff. I still rewatched it after just in case, but it was very good. It was a lot. It was great. So
no, I really
I'm
like
happy about this one.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other thoughts on this one? Or
and I just find it really delightful, and the daylight, and it's one of the longer ones I think I watched. What is it, like 25? What year was this?
2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, it's filmed in It's February 14th, 2018. I wonder if I filmed it
Valentine's Day.
Whoa. I didn't film it that day, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Because I had to edit it. I wonder if I filmed it in
So you uploaded it as the Valentine's Day surprise.
Yeah. Well, because I'm Mr. Horse is in there and I'm in shorts. I wonder if this is filmed in the summer.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say that's Valentine's appropriate.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's probably because it's probably cold outside in February, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think I might have filmed this in the summer because I'm wearing shorts.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I filmed this in February. I forget.
No, because you look too comfortable.
Yeah, this is probably...
I don't see any breath that's frosty.
I think all these videos were summer and I just waited to upload them.
Yeah.
Like, or even October. Or Yeah. All right, cool. You want to go back to the page?
Sure.
All right, cool. Let's move on. Stamp the Book is next.
Yeah, Stamp the Book is fun. Yeah.
Cool. We're going in order right now. Up next.
Well, in order of my list.
Order of the list.
Of when they were filmed or uploaded.
Yeah. Stamp the Book. You like this one. I'm not the biggest fan of this one.
Why not?
I don't think it's a bad movie, but I think just because, I don't know. I think I enjoy it. I just think it's not one of my top. I'm glad you like it.
See, right now looking at it, it sucks me in because of, first of all, the look. Like, we obviously have it on silent. But like the white background, the red sunglasses, the bright gold jacket.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it pulls me in, and it's very bright. It must be daylight, I think. But it just, I don't know. I'm getting like Clockwork Orange vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way it looks. And then it's just the way you do your voice, the character of this guy has a tooth hat.
It's from Adventure Time.
Okay, he's wearing like a tooth head.
Yeah.
And he's a traveler in the multiverse. But it reminds me of if you ever travel overseas and sometimes you have to get visas and go through customs in many different countries, and this shit happens. You get some kind of agent who just does not want to let you through.
Yeah.
And he plays with his power. So that's what this guy's doing. He's the one responsible to stamp the Tooth Man's book. And the Tooth Man's like kind of also a strange guy. And he's like, oh, please just stamp my book so I can go in and travel. And then this guy with his power and his red sunglasses is like, well, I don't know about stamping your book. And the way they cut back and forth, you're playing both characters.
Yeah.
And they're both kind of weird, but really well done.
Yeah.
And I just love their conversation. I love how quickly you cut, how you do the two characters, and just like the wacky look of it. I really like it. I don't know. I think I really like your characters and your voices and your acting. Like,
thank you.
Like you did in All Man.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't hate. I mean, I have to rewatch some films. I guess I don't know. I'm a big fan of more my epic. In terms of my favorite films. Right. Yeah. I love like the ones that have the storyline. Right. I guess I still even if this isn't one of my favorites, it doesn't mean I hate it or it's a horrible film. It's just. Right. Because I have a lot of films, so it's hard to. Right.
Well, for me, I like a lot of different things. I like emotional stuff, but I also like weird, wacky characters dropped out of nowhere.
Yeah, this is weird.
With a crazy look. So it's kind of like David Lynch or something. Like if you watch Twin Peaks, the newer version, like there's this overarching story, but then there's just like these weird ass characters just dropped in, and you also do them really well. And like the fun part is like this really happens if you're traveling. So but it's also neat that this is going on in like a multiverse kind of.
I forgot
setting.
This
is really fun.
It's funny. I forgot
and you're really funny.
Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah. I forgot it was a multiverse. I remember something about the multiverse.
Well, he doesn't talk about it that much, but the Tooth Man mentions that's like, please, I'm trying to travel in this multiverse. So that adds like
that's
this.
Cool. I forgot about that.
Weird, when I said Clockwork Orangey, kind of weird alternate thing. Yeah. Like the people can't see right now, but if they could see the characters, they would get what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I'll put the links of. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I completely forgot it was like a multiverse traveler, which is funny because we just the search for magic waters and the multiverse forest. But
no,
I was gonna say some of the like I said, a lot of these films are opening up the multiverse of
right, yeah.
and that's why I think there are. I mean, even though the old school films are weird, like there's a talking rat and there's a pink dog and
That's
there's
true.
a chicken little and there's a kid who's in his house and gets attacked by toys.
Yeah, but
So
you
what you
know what else I like about this?
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of like your solo prov.
Oh yeah.
Because when you do solo prov, at least on Zoom, that I see, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're working with nowadays, obviously, you're like, you're the one character,
all right, cool.
and then you move to the left, and then you're the other character, you move to the right.
Yeah.
This, you actually were able to film that. But this is pretty much like your solo prov, you having a conversation as two characters.
Yeah.
But you get the advantage of filming it and being able to cut back and forth pretty seamlessly, by the way, with the two wacky. I think it's great. This reminds me of like a solo prov set of yours. But this is, it's not a big, giant story, but it's a great, cool, funny conversation that takes place in the multiverse. So what do they call that when you're doing like a story and then there's like a little side thing happening?
Side story?
Yeah, maybe just a little, like a snippet. I don't know the words.
Side quest, like in a video game?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll get back to you later.
Well, it could be. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I mean, because like I said, I mean, not yes.
Just like a little side character having a little fun little break out from the main story that's entertaining. You know?
And that's what I love doing.
Like the characters when you go to the bar in Star Wars.
The cantina.
And there's the weird characters in the background that might be having a little argument. Doesn't really, take part in the. It doesn't really matter for the big story, but it's just a fun, world building kind of little thing.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that it is very much, like even though not every one of my films are, and yes, they exist in the same multiverse because it's the Donaldverse, I guess, But like even like I love like building up aspects like this, like there's a multiverse traveling agency.
Exactly.
There's a multiverse forest.
Yeah.
There's 2 different Mikey the Rats that we know of.
Right.
There's what else? There's an Aw Man.
Right.
So it's important to, because then you could look at it from
his eyes.
Yeah. You could look at it from the wider point of view of like how wacky is this universe, and this is this multiverse I realize now, and I have realized for a long time is pretty wacky.
Yeah.
As you've seen throughout the videos.
Yeah. Well, this is great for fleshing that out.
Yeah.
Like we're not talking about Trucker, but I imagine Trucker on his adventures, and like at one point he goes to the airport in the weird ass multiverse airport with the weird customs guy.
That's Trucker 3. It hasn't been written yet.
That's another interview.
That's another one. Cool. You want to move on?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Cool. We might take a break in a second.
One of my favorites, though.
Charm Master, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna pause. I'm going to pause on here too. All right, here we are now, was this Charm Master, right? Here
right. Also from the Sequestered.
Yeah. So there's another one that's, I like. It's probably not one of my favorites, but tell me why it's one of your favorites.
Well, right from the very opening, the beginning, Charm Master, the title is in a heart, and there's like graphics of like fluttering Valentine-y heart thing. So there I'm sucked in that this is going to be kind of cute and charm used in a way that I think is going to be fun.
Yeah. And that was a suggestion, I think, was charm. Charm
was the suggestion. I mean, I could describe what I see as I'm what. Like,
of course.
I see this guy and he's at home and he's really, really nervous and he's obviously getting ready for a date that's coming over, and he's like super nervous and he's like looking in the mirror, he's rubbing his face, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
He's fixing his hair and he's like talking to himself out loud. He's like, you can do this. I've got this date. He's like super anxious. And I like that because I like to think, like, I know as a woman, I also get extremely nervous before a date, before a meeting. And you just hear this guy, he's like, she's going to be here in 5 minutes. I'll just jump in the shower. But no, realistically, there's this guy who's also preparing nervously, and he
gets wacky.
He gets wacky, and it makes me. I'm like, they go through that too.
Because I get the hanger, and I do like I think I'm like, ladies don't like hangers. I'm talking to a bottle, a tea,
a kombucha bottle. He's like,
bottle.
oh, don't do that. That's kombucha. He's like, he's setting himself up to think that he's going to screw up. He's super nervous. And it's like well acted again, and
thank you. Yeah.
your voice and your pacing and everything. Oh, you're literally pacing as well because you're so nervous.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, when I make these films, has been. I think it's only just me. Yeah, I don't think it's because
Right.
it's a film that you make at home in quarantine.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So I always like this. Like I'm waiting. It's like another Waiting for Godot.
Yeah.
Talked about. What film did we talk about that in?
The All Man.
Oh, the All Man. Yeah. So this is like, but I'm waiting for my date.
Right, and this is sweeter than the All Man because I think it's sweet that he's waiting for his date. He's like practicing his walk. He's practicing his facial expressions,
the hair and
his body. And we do that.
Yeah.
So.
And I like like I said, even if it's not my favorite, I do like the facial expressions and like you said, the lighting looks nice. I shot this downstairs. In my
well,
basement.
I mean, you may or may not realize how good you are at acting and doing characters and doing these voices and expressing like a feeling like nervousness or paranoia, and it's really fun to watch. So maybe you're not seeing that like I am. But
maybe. Oh well, it's also a large collection of so many films to pick from.
Yeah, that's true. No, but this is a very short, simple. And then you find this red book, the Charm book.
Yeah. Which is it's the People's Improv Theater book.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, which is a nice, yeah.
Well, improv would help with a date, I think.
Yeah, did we show the book?
Yeah.
You see it from the back.
Yeah.
Well, it's a nice book. The Pit was handing them out when I was working there.
Oh, wow.
And I still use it. But they always made these nice little notebooks. They have like the festival, there's like a pink festival book for one of the festivals. Yeah, so just
I love notebooks. Yeah.
Well, it's also... No, it wasn't. I used a black book in Charm in the last film, but I think it looks nice. You have the nice prop. There you go. You have the nice red book.
Yeah. Well, no, the filming is great. You look really good in it too.
Oh, thanks.
Your
that's when
your
I got
skin is glowing.
Well,
what's happening?
That's when I had. That was the first. Actually, this was a few days after I got my first real haircut.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it's like, wow, he has a great haircut. Well, I hadn't got a real haircut in months.
Well, join the club, so.
Yeah.
But
it's a fun one. Yeah.
Not all of us are on film, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But no, and he picks up the book, and whatever he reads in the book calms him down.
Oh, my date comes in. Yeah.
It's basically like take a deep breath. And then he's like, okay, come on, in date. We see the door open. We don't see the lucky person.
Yeah.
And he's like, suddenly my nerves have melted away.
Yeah. And
this is actually very true from a person who has a lot of anxiety and nervousness. Like before a big event that even you're excited about, you're so nervous and you're driving yourself crazy and you're in your head. And then as soon as that thing starts, it all kind of melts away. And you see this, and he changes so quickly from, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, until the person comes into the door and he's just, this is just going to be such a great hangout. And that's really nice.
Yeah, oh, thank you. Yeah, that's definitely, like I said, you said you deal with that. I mean, of course, I deal with that. Maybe not as much as I used to. I used to deal with it a lot younger, with like being a lot more nervous. And yes, there are, of course, I mean, I don't know anybody who doesn't not get nervous, even if you are super, super confident. But even before like some improv shows, like even though I get compliments, there's a little bit. There's not like this, No, this is great. This is really well done. It's like I want to keep watching. Yeah, well just look at your facial expressions. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I love making facial expressions.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I think another Waiting for Godot type of thing where it's like or like the Oh Man, where it's like we're waiting for the date, and I sort of like building up to that, and then maybe you don't. I like showing characters as you've seen,
right?
Like showing the man in white or showing the big bad, but I also like if you can switch it up where you're just describing a character who's going to show up. Right. Maybe not necessarily in improv because you want to see it in improv, but I think in film, I love seeing like we're waiting for the Batman, but the Batman never shows up, and you hear that Batman is scary and you're like uh-oh. But then ideally you would see Batman in one of those films.
Right.
But for Godot, it's maybe better we don't see Godot. So maybe we don't see the date.
I think it's great that we don't see the date because I like the focus to be on him and the mystery.
It would have been
right. Oh, that would have been fun though, to be honest.
Me in a pink wig, yeah.
But we're pink, blonde, black, and but here's the thing that you're happy for this guy, because you're like, he's so anxious, I know. And then you see the look on his face when the person comes in that he's, that they're going to have a good time. Yeah. So I kind of also like seeing someone in a bad state suddenly become happy.
Yeah.
Almost like the Giving the Present, the present movie. I like to see him happy.
Which one was the present one? Oh, the Pick a Present.
Yeah, Pick a Present. Sorry, I'm not good with titles and
There's
names.
too many names. Yeah.
But no, it's fun to see. Like, oh yay, it worked out.
Yeah.
Assuming, who knows?
Well,
we didn't see the sequel. Maybe like drink in the face, get the hell out of here. But
we'll have to do. I keep joking. In one of the Man in White multiverse videos, he should come in and destroy this guy and his date.
Aw, man, why do you always have to destroy?
Oh no, what'd you hit?
Uh-oh.
Keep talking?
I lost my wire.
It's still in.
Okay.
Yeah, you just...
I almost...
Look, it's not... It's the Man in White is on a mission. Okay?
I got excited. I was like, no, can't we ever just have a happy ending?
Now the Man in White...
I almost knocked my wire out of the thing.
He will destroy... Oops. No, don't go back.
And the tooth guy got his passport stamped, so that was also a happy ending.
Well, until the Man in White destroys him, too.
Stop!
He's going to destroy all the characters.
The Man in White's going to come and destroy this interview and equipment.
Yeah, exactly. You want to move on to Honey Honey?
Yes.
All right, cool. I like this one a lot. I switched the order. Why did I change the order? Oh, well. We know we did Oh Man, so I moved that out of the way. All right, cool. Honey Honey Honey. I think this is my first... I don't know what is my first sequestered film.
I think it was this one.
It is? Okay, I have to go back to the beginning. Yeah, I think it is this one. Yeah, so I love this one. First sequestered film, and probably one of the first films in sequestered. I think actually, well, it is the first film sequestered, but also sets the groundwork for more of a multiverse vibe in a way. Tell me about this one.
Well, again, here's what... First of all, I like the look of it because if anyone watches it after this, the camera's so close up on your face. It's like an extreme close-up. Well, here it's not as much. Yeah. But it's very... Your face almost fills the frame. So it's that close up. And we're watching this guy. He's anxious.
Yeah.
But he's a little... beyond that, you could see he's obsessed. He's like repeating honey, honey, honey. He's looking around, he's searching, and he's looking for something. He's obsessed with honey. This is what I see. Multiverse is... He's obsessed with honey, and he's looking around, and he's searching on Amazon or whatever on the internet.
Yeah.
And first of all, I like the filming of it, but I feel like I saw this in the beginning of the quarantine from the pandemic, and I feel like I was searching for things that I thought that I needed to stock up on.
Yeah.
And I would get obsessed with one item, and it would have to be this one exact perfect item that had all the nutritional needs that I was going to need to be in quarantine, and I was obsessed. So that's what I took out of this. Right away, this guy's like, honey, honey, honey. Yeah. And I know there's another story to it, but the beautiful part is that I can interpret it my way as a standalone. And I'm like, this guy, he's a little crazy. And he's like super duper obsessed, and was like, this like really speaks to the pandemic, I feel.
Yeah, especially the start of...
Well, like the timing was good.
This is uploaded March 21st, and the pandemic, I think, or lockdown in New York, whatever, started on like March 13th or 14th.
Something like that.
So this is like...
and that's when we were all like, oh my God, gotta get toilet paper, gotta get
Amazon Fresh, gotta get
Amazon Fresh. I'm like, I gotta get a lot of cans of tuna.
Yeah.
And so this guy's like, honey, honey, honey. I gotta get the honey.
Well, so I guess...
No, that's an extreme close-up right
like
there.
that.
I can like see up your nostrils pretty much.
I didn't get... There's one video in the unaired video collection that will be uploaded eventually where I have something up my nostril, but I'm like, well, it's a good-looking video. I'll deal with the flap later.
Oh, man. Well, that's so Blair Witch with the snot dripping out.
Yeah, like, this is a good shot. Yeah, I love
Well, just for the folks out there, if you watch this, his nostrils were totally clean.
They were clean, but the other one will not be, but it's okay.
But
what are you going to do?
For this one, I'm going to tell you, that's if you had stuff in your nose, I might not have liked it as much. I don't know.
I would hope, I hope my nose is good now. But yeah, like I said, this is first like
this is great.
I love the
spinning,
shot
right? The shots are
on my
great.
chair. I don't think I've done that again since then. I'll have to do it again.
That's so awesome.
But yeah, I love just like the jumping into this character. But yeah, so yes, this can stand on its own, this film. But what I envisioned with this, and I told you, and I told a few people, and I mean, not many people would get the reference because the old YouTube video is no longer online. I mean, I have the file, and you've seen the video. Of course, because I saved all the old videos I'm in for archiving, as you know. But this is essentially supposed to be in the same universe as Pink Dime.
Okay.
And Pink Dime, if you haven't seen it, it's basically I'm in a blonde wig and I just appear out of nowhere in my friend's house.
Yeah,
I
remember that.
Honey, I wouldn't pick up that pink dime. Mm-hmm. And he picks up the pink dime. He changes, and he doesn't like who he becomes. So then he ends up offing himself.
Right.
As he puts his head in the closet door or the door, and then he cuts off. It's silly. He cuts off his own head, and then the head falls down.
Right. Yeah, I remember.
So and then it's like he wouldn't pick up this pink dime. This film adds a lot of meaning to that. It still stands alone.
Okay.
But
yeah.
What I was going for with this is that he needs the substance to become regular, to be himself. Mm-hmm. But without the substance, he becomes like a demon type thing, which is what we saw in Pink Dime. Where,
so that's why he needs this honey.
Yeah. So like how he becomes this thing that he doesn't want to become.
Because, so without the honey, he becomes the blond
man.
Man.
The David.
Oh wow. That adds a lot to it for me.
Yeah. He's still David Tannenbaum, which is for those who don't know, David Tannenbaum. He was a teacher at my high school. Rest in peace. He passed away in 2009. But I like the name. Like the character's nothing like him.
Right. Yeah.
But the name just like I think Cody was like, what's this character's name gonna be? Or no, I think I was doing honey, honey, honey. We started as a joke when we were talking to each other. Mm-hmm. Like if somebody was climbing, there's a guy I think climbing a mountain or some character, and I'm like, oh, what if he was climbing a mountain but he had one hand like this, which I'm doing. I don't know how to describe it. Well, there we go. I don't know how to describe it. Mm-hmm. It's like, but he goes honey, honey, honey. He has the hand like a V, like this.
Right. It looks like
a V. I forget how to describe a swan. And he has one hand that goes like this. So I think the joke was, what if like some guy is climbing the mountain but he only has one hand like this? Mm-hmm. He can only do like this, and it was funny. So we made a joke out of it, and then I don't know. And then I was just like honey, 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 in that voice, honey, 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 and then something about a dime came up. I have to talk to him about it again. But
who knows how these things? Yeah.
So we created that film, and then with that character. That was probably one of my first characters where I wanted there to be more of an origin. Mm-hmm. Like, because he just appears in the house, he picks up the dime and then he changes. Like, it's already weird.
Right, No, I love the weirdness. Yeah.
So that to me, and that's like my concept, Cody directed. But, so that to me is kind of, and even like there's one film, God, which is not the best film I did in 2008, but God, I think I told you, at the end, the God character, the fake God, whatever, mentions that he's on the council with like Lord Xavier, Willie the Walrus, and David Tannenbaum. Mm-hmm. So already I was setting up that David Tannenbaum was this mystical thing, because you don't know how he does this in Pink Dime.
Right.
Why is he on this weird council in God, or mentioned at God with Lord Xavier and Willie the Walrus and this fake God? Mm-hmm. So it was clear that he was a mystical thing. Mm-hmm. There was a sequel we were going to do, we never did, where Pink Dime, where he would destroy the military.
Wow.
Where we would have sort of like Matrix thing, and I would just do like slow motion stuff, and I would, break the necks of these military people, and it'd be comedic.
Right, okay.
But even in When Toys Attack 2, David Tannenbaum comes in with that mystical sound. Like, I remember I showed you, he comes in with that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember now.
So, David Tannenbaum was like my first kind of YouTube character that I created that was very much of like, that would kind of be the blueprint for all these mystical, like the pink dog and the Mikey the Rat and the man in white.
Right, yeah.
And Sunglasses Jim. So it's that first character.
Right, okay.
And he was almost, I know I'm talking a lot about this.
No, that's okay.
But he was, I almost made Man in White was almost going to be David Tannenbaum as well, but then I decided that Man in White is already Sunglasses Jim and the Devil and who knows who else.
Right.
But David Tannenbaum is a separate character. Mm-hmm. He's this guy who needs the honey, or else he becomes this like demon type of thing that. So
now I understand his desperation.
Yeah, it's a
little more. Yeah.
I do when watching When Toys Attack 2 from 2008 and watching this, I think it's time to bring back the character.
Whoa, I like that character. And I haven't really seen him in any of the new stuff.
Time, yeah. So. I haven't done him in a long time. Except for, this is kind of like this is before, like, this is him in his regular form.
I would like to see this guy who's regular maybe run out of honey and see that transformation in a film.
I want to as well. Because like I said, after watching When Toys Attack 2, I was like,
right.
why haven't I done this character?
That was actually a crazy film.
Yeah. Well, it's like when Randolph went away, or when Gandalf went away for a long time. Now he's back as Randolph. Gandalf was away. It's the same character technically.
Yeah.
But Randolph was away for almost 8 years before I brought him back for the Magic Water search.
Right. Oh wow, that's really neat.
Sometimes characters, and now Randolph is like the main focus of the YouTube series. But yeah, anyway, yeah. That was a long story, but yes, this is. Yeah. A prequel to it's in the same universe as Pink Dime, even though most people probably haven't seen it now since it's not on YouTube, but you've seen it and you know about it, and so it's like,
I do.
Yeah.
No, and that's great. Like, and I love to see it all kind of fleshed out and come together. And when I first saw this, it was brand new. It was standalone, and I like that it works both ways because you touch on emotions, and I don't know if you realize this. Your face very close up. You like to say that you kind of have a stone face or like a stoic face. But when you're doing these films, you have no idea how much your face expresses a specific emotion. Like this one is a little bit of fear and panic, but kind of subdued, and a little craziness in the eyes, like with the obsession. Yeah. You know, and then the Charmed one, the guy was really nervous about the date. Yeah. Like, and the All Man was paranoid.
The lighting is good. Yeah.
Yeah, but like right now I'm talking about your specific, how your face expresses this stuff.
Oh, thank you.
So like as a standalone, like somebody, ho-hum, let me go see this movie. Like, oh, what's this? I can look at this guy's face and say, oh shit, he's obsessed. Yeah. And freaking out, and this sucks me in. So. Yeah. And standalone, it's great, as well as part of.
The multiverse.
The multiverse.
You know. Yeah, because like it is, but I also do even though yes, it's not like clear. Like you can watch this without seeing Pink Dime, which I think most people will have since Pink Dime hasn't been online in a long time. So
well, that's what's great about the Sequestered, because a lot of Sequestered audience is only going to see this as standalone. Yeah, but exactly. It's also you're able to use this as a jump off or a platform to still stay in your universes. Yeah, so that's really cool.
Because it's like like I'm not going to be like, you have to watch Pink Dime, but like, so you could watch this and say you never asked me about Pink Dime, you would still enjoy it, I think.
Exactly, yeah. As like the viewers who are just seeing this as part of Sequestered, you know?
Now I'm going to bring back that character.
You're good at emotions.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It took a while, but I got there. Cool. Anything else about this? I guess we could move on.
We can move on.
Cool. I guess I'd go
No, I really like the look, though.
Yeah, I love that one. Was there something up my nose in that one? Nope. All right, cool.
No, because then it wouldn't have been on this list. I do not put snot nose on my list.
Yeah. Cool.
That's my only rule.
Oh, I love this one. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Remix the realities. Oops, I put the wrong title on the... I put Remix the Universe on the text title, but then in the title in the film.
So what's the actual title?
It's the one in the text, which is Remix the Realities. Oops. Oh well, I'll fix that later. Okay, cool. This is a fun one. I love this one.
Yeah.
Because I have to bring back these puppets.
They're so cute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So this is me sleeping. What you'd say? Why do you like this one?
Because the first frame always draws me in of these favorites on my list. The first frame, you see this fuzzy orange puppet just like laying there, like dead or asleep or something. Yeah. And then you see an alligator puppet in a cute orange T-shirt. These are just like adorable puppets, funny little puppets. And all of a sudden, then you see a guy, Donovan, like dead asleep on the bed. Mm-hmm. And this orange puppet realizes like, oh, my master or owner or whoever is asleep. I can come alive and do shit.
Well, it's a dream though. I think it's a dream.
It's a dream, but as the watcher, I just see So it's a dream, but this puppet is talking and alive, and like I'm just watching. I wish we could turn the volume up. We can't.
Oh yeah.
But like the way you voice the characters is really fun and cute and adorable. And I know it's a dream, and I know it's kind of surreal, and it's involved in some of the multiverse, but it like sucks you in like a kid for me. Yeah. I'm like, oh, fun Muppets, and like also the cool part. And then the two of them fight each other, and you're doing both of their voices, and it's it's really friggin' adorable. It's like seeing kittens fight. Yeah. But I was like, oh my god, this is so much fun.
They curse as well.
They do, and that's also funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was.
It's just, and I love how you do the voices of both, and You're very seamless.
This was fun, but also very. I mean, they're all difficult in a way.
Look at that!
Yeah.
That's so cute.
I mean, they all take time to film. Some are more difficult than others. This one was difficult, and they had an effect.
The effects are brilliant. These
Viva Video. There's lightning as well.
I don't know how you do that, but it's really funny. It looks like the Batman Kapow things in the car.
Just CGI guns.
Really funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like this one, but it was one of the most difficult because I'm doing this by myself, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm controlling the puppets behind the camera. So it's like,
how do you even do? Were you holding the camera with your teeth or what?
No. So what I had to do was like if you would have seen me filming this, basically, see how the puppets look stationary, and see you can see the sword that he's held up on. He's holding on a toy sword.
Oh wow!
On his
Yeah.
butt.
No, I see now.
But basically, so like I was like the camera was like here, right in front of me. I'm like close to the camera, and then I'm like here, and there's like a tripod here. So I'm like super close, and like I'm moving, and then sometimes the camera isn't exactly wide enough, so you see the puppets moving.
Right. Okay.
So it was, and then see how he talks was like jaws broken, and that's because I couldn't hold him.
Aww.
And then like him. So it was fun. It was. I think if I'm gonna do puppets again, I do need somebody to make it more seamless.
Right.
But this is a fun.
I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah. Oh, he's the Owlman. He's like Elvis.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at you.
This is the first time. Oh, this is the first mention of Man in White, I think.
Oh wow.
In the series.
Okay.
In the Sequestered series, because he's like, you don't want to remix the realities like that idiot Man in White.
Right. Okay.
So.
And what is this character's name?
The
Can you
Owlman.
remind me? That is the actual Owlman.
Yeah, he's very.
That the white-haired guy was freaked out about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the Owlman. He's like the master of the dreams, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I said he was like the master of the dream reality.
I'm laughing because the puppet's so cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I found that somewhere. What? John Cena.
Oh, okay.
I found it at John Cena's house.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Carolyn mouthed.
I did. I mouthed it to him because I know John Cena's probably going to listen to this.
Yeah.
I don't need him coming after
I found it.
us.
Well, so I was like, let me use the puppets. I have to use them again. But Owlman is the master of the dream reality, and then he mentions Man in White, like, oh, you don't want to mess up the realities like that Man in White. Mm-hmm. And this is a storyline I was building towards already. So this was kind of like a little seed, because I don't think we see the Man in White yet until the Ego film.
Okay.
Ego of Fortune later. So I was like, let me put that inkling in.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Because you saw the Man in White already in like the Rage Prince finale or his bottom, and then he's responsible. Oh yeah, this is a great shot.
No, I like this. The next day when you wake up, you're like, oh, what are you guys doing out?
The puppets. It's a cute ending.
And don't you say like, oh, I have to start playing with you guys again?
Yeah, like Toy Story. Like
right.
I'm like, oh okay. So like, yeah. So it's like they have this. The puppets have the dream. Mm-hmm. But I think if they would have killed each other, it would have messed up the universe.
Right. Okay.
So I'm thinking like one of the puppets would have disappeared, and then that would have been like, I wake up in the universe as. Oh yeah, I know. That's a good shot. Yeah, this is a fun. I like this one.
No, it's really, really. I would like to watch this again.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it again
with the volume up.
Yeah.
Later.
Cool. Any other dots? Well, I'll always ask about any other.
No, I mean it's just it's really something that I want to watch again.
Yeah,
I do love those special effects.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I added them in Viva Video on my phone.
Okay.
You can add in like those little special effects.
I need to learn that.
Yeah, it's simple. It's all you do is add the effect overlaying the video because you edit it on the phone.
Okay.
I think some people edit on their computer. You have to shoot on your phone.
Okay.
But you can edit on your computer if you like. But I prefer to edit on the phone.
And what you can just download that? That's an app or
Viva Video? Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to pay like $4.99 for the one longer than 10-minute version.
Right. Okay.
But I mean, if you're gonna do films under 5, I just do it because I use it a lot. Cool. Want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, sure. What's
Cena,
next?
Right? Yeah, we'll just go in order, I guess. The John Cena's perspective.
I don't think that. No, that's not the list.
Yeah. Oh, oops! Did I go the wrong? Uh-oh.
Yeah, you're on the master list.
Oh, jeez. Uh-oh. And I gotta go back. We messed up.
This is
Donald Faves.
No, the top 10 is the list that we were looking
Jesus.
at.
Oh,
this is it.
Ah, thank God. I thought Remix the Universe. So John Cena's not on there.
It's not, but it was on my, what is it called before you narrow it down list?
The Donald
my top
Faves.
20. but it was like in my top 20.
Yeah, the Donald faves.
But
cool.
It did not make the cut to
it's
top
okay.
10.
Well, we can't talk about John Cena.
Probably
so
somebody died at the end or something.
No, John Cena was alive and well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I probably found one that I wanted to talk about more.
Yeah. Well, this one, refrain from the darkness.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is a shorter one.
Is it short? This is like all voiceover.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is all like images. Cool. This one, I think I was like sort of a little depressed at the time, you know?
And that's probably why I liked it.
Yeah.
Because there I'm always going back to like emotions and, you know. This is really short. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds. And this is way different than any of the other ones that we've talked about.
Yeah.
And it's very quiet. And it's basically a voiceover with, well, the initial shots, you're writing in a journal the same thing that you're saying. But it goes on to show this beautiful garden, which I believe is your backyard.
My back, yeah.
And it's like beautiful flowers, there's tomatoes growing, there's a breeze, and you're quietly speaking, and you're talking about being in a dark place, I guess. I know now.
Yeah, at the time.
And it's kind of like an encouraging message of how to break out of the darkness.
Yeah.
It's not like super positive Tony Robbins stuff. It's a quiet meditative tone.
Yeah.
And so this was like like even right now,
it's
like if
now,
I were watching all of these films and then this one popped on, you see scenes of ivy growing on a brick wall. It's starting to rain a little bit. It's a very quiet meditative thing, and you're deep in thoughts, and you do say maybe you were a little depressed, and you're sharing that emotion, which again I always connect to.
Yeah, that's
but
right
it's very quiet, beautiful nature, your voice, and it's very soothing with a good message. And I just like the diversion. It's like I just went into a flotation tank for 2 minutes after seeing puppets kill each other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, this one, you know, I think, like, you know, and we've talked during the pandemic, I mean, still the pandemic, but there are times when, you know, like it's a lot, like the mind gets a lot, you know, darker or a lot more sadder on some days, maybe whether it is like being inside or, you know, just hearing the news and other issues, like whether it's like personal issues, obviously everybody goes through something.
Right.
So I think at this point, you know, I was starting to feel some of that stuff. And, you know, but me, I'm very, very strong, as you know, very strong-minded. Like, yes, I'll get sad and I'll deal with all those issues.
Yeah.
But I do always remember, you know, like there's a light at the end of the tunnel and to always keep moving forward. But some days are going to be a little darker than usual, but I know tomorrow is going to be, or the next day, or even the day after, there's going to be a better day.
Right.
So that's why I'm always like, you know, like even, yes, I do get sad. Like everybody gets sad, I think, obviously. I don't know anybody who doesn't, you know.
If they don't, there's something wrong with them.
Yeah, uh-oh. Call it,
uh-oh.
But, you know, even, like, yes, you know, I get sad, but I refrain from the darkness, you know. So, yes, am I pulled towards the darkness? Yes. But I know I'm never going to go into the darkness, you know, like, because I was in the Coast Guard, I dealt with a lot of depression, and other stuff, I dealt with a lot of depression. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I still have projects I want to make. I still have family who cares about me. I still have friends who care about me. You know, I have to create my sci-fi series. But these are all, like, and people care about me. So that's why I've gone dark, but I've never gone that dark because I have a very strong mind.
Well, that's part of what the concept of reframing says. It's like you're looking at it through, you know, dark colored glasses or something, or a negative side, but you have to reframe how you see things to pull yourself out of it. Yeah. You know? But I also like your recognition of it being normal to go through depression and sadness at this time or any time. Yeah. But so I like the acknowledgement of that. I like this. I put this one in because it's such a different tone from all the others, and there's also beauty in it, like calm beauty of the nature and the thoughts. And I think a lot of the people who commented on it kind of said the same thing. Yeah. So it was a little diversion.
Even though it has 2 dislikes. Who the hell gave me...
What?
God damn it.
Those people who never get depressed.
Damn it. Yeah, no, I mean...
Maybe they didn't like the tomatoes. I don't know.
It's... Like I said, it's important, you know, and that's why at the end of, like, every improv show I realize I've been doing, like, the live stream, I've been giving more of a... I mean, I always give a message like, hey, have a good night, stay safe. But if you've noticed at the end of improv shows, I'm like, if you ever need... Hey, stay out there, stay positive. If you ever need somebody to talk to, it's a little longer outro, because I think I was watching there's like What Culture YouTube channel, and they do like a lot of wrestling videos, and there's a guy, I don't know if he still does videos with them, but he would always do a positive message at the end. You know, like, and you know, and he would have jokes throughout the video, obviously, but not like against people, but just more like jokes in the video, obviously, because it's a comedic video. But at the end, he'd be like, "Okay, hey everybody, thanks for watching, and remember, if you need to talk or if you're having a bad day, remember, think positive, breathe in." Not saying I'm like a messiah or anything like that, but just like, hey, you know, we're all tough. It's all tough, but thanks for watching the video, or thanks for coming to watch the show for an hour. And remember, be positive and breathe in and out. Everything will be okay.
Wait, you're not the Messiah? What are we doing here?
Whoa,
no.
I'm the man in white.
But you always are warm and encouraging. So, yeah,
so
that's really nice.
I think,
I don't have that ability. But
yeah, well, you know, but it's...
Somebody has to do it.
I try.
It's nice, yeah.
I'm not saying it's like, follow me, I'm not trying to be religious, but if you need to talk, like religion to me or all that stuff, it's not, you know... It doesn't matter what religion you are or what you believe in. If you need to talk about and you are feeling down, you know, you can. You know, we can draw that stuff out the window. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, you reframe it. Yeah, look at it from a different perspective.
Yeah. But, so this is what it is. Sometimes you need to, you know, just breathe in and out, and everything will be fine eventually, I believe. That's what I try to say. So what are you gonna say though?
Well, nothing, but it just made me remember that was the advice in the charm book for the guy nervous about the date. Yeah. Breathe in, breathe out.
Yeah.
So
life is tough. It's never going to be, and some have it tougher than others. But either way, we're all going to have tough days, even if it's not as worse as somebody else's tough day. It's still tough on us. Well, so maybe we need to handle it,
right? Or also maybe part of the reframing is like you're feeling this way and. Maybe just go and look at the flowers. You know, that's obviously not going to solve your problem, but it is nice to look at something beautiful in nature, you know.
Yeah. And I also think it's important, like, to, whether it is, like, with creativity, I think that's why, like, I love the improv and the acting and the filmmaking, you know, because besides, it's my hobby, it's my passion, as you know, but it also helps, you know, like, if I am feeling a little down, I can do a film that reflects that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so that's why you get different vibes from all these films, you know?
Well, a lot of them I get different feelings, and I connected them in different ways, and I like that. I like the feelings.
That's what I love doing as a filmmaker, you know? Like yes, I do have my category that I like, as you can see, with wacky characters and multiverses and sci-fi, but then there are other films you've seen, and they're even on this list that we'll dive into soon, where it is a different vibe. And I channel my energy, you know? So if you want to see a film about me getting caught by a serial killer, I know you're sad about the stalker.
I don't like that. I mean, I liked it, but it made me sad.
Yeah. But it's different vibes. Yeah. If you want to watch that, or if you want to watch Richard in a forest and me in my underwear with a horse mask.
That was a fun vibe.
That was a fun. So I have different vibes. And I think the best filmmakers and best artists can do that. You know? Yeah. So, but yeah, that's my message.
Yeah, I like it. Yay. Good message.
Want to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And we always got to ask, do you have any other dots or ideas?
Oops.
It's okay. This is.
Oh my God! The man in white just destroyed our audio equipment.
It fell when I was recording with Andrew like 5 times, but it's okay. No. It happens. Cool. Let's move on to the next one. I love this one. The drawing. One of my favorites. So tell me. You talk about this one first. Why do you like the drawing so much?
Well, here I like the vibe, but the vibe is very different than the other ones I've described because this is very creepy. Yeah. And I mean, I'm going to start with the look. Like, this first scene takes place outside a natural light.
This is upstate.
Upstate New York.
And where I often go once in a while.
But also as it goes on, the colors change. Like there's green and purples in the sky and in your eyes. Yeah. And there's a creepy music that I can't remember now, but I know that there's a music that really sets a like kind of a horror tone. Yeah. And basically we see a kid. I mean, I guess he's a teenager.
That's Andrew. Yeah. That's in the film, I'm supposed to be the dad. I'm wearing a silly t-shirt, but it's okay.
I actually like the t-shirt.
Yeah. So I play a dad, and that's my son.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. He's the teenage son, and he's drawing, and this dad is a jerk. He's yelling at the kid like, "Why are you wasting your time drawing? You should be doing this, this, and that. You know, I'm ashamed of you. I'm not proud of you."
Yeah.
And he's yelling at the kid. He's basically a verbally.
And I'll pause. Because, no, I mean, we keep talking.
Oh, a verbally abusive dad who doesn't understand his kid's creativity. And I think a lot of people can identify with this on a personal level. So that's one reason that I like it.
Yeah, definitely this was, you know, and we'll dive more into the video, but I wanted to come back to this. Of like, this is like a real issue I've dealt with, you know?
Yeah.
When I've had arguments with my dad, you know, about like basically, like, you know, there were times when maybe it wasn't like there was other stuff that was insulting, you know, and, you know, I love my dad, but we've had our issues. You know, if you're listening, I'm sure he knows, because he's even mentioned it, you know, and we've started to talk about it, of course, which is great. It's always important to, I think, talk about it. But even though those issues never truly go away, so, you know, one of them was like this was one of the issues I remember where maybe it was a joke, but I was very sensitive as a kid, and oftentimes it'd be like, "Oh, all your drawings look alike," and I was like, they don't look alike, and it'd be like, I don't think that, to me, I think it's important to joke with a kid, but that to me was not a joke.
No, that's a tough thing for a kid to hear.
I'm like, my drawings don't all look the same.
Yeah,
they clearly. Yes, do they have like the same 2D style, but they don't. And I think you've seen some of my drawings, and my mom, I mean, so I knew, I'm like, they don't all look the same. And that's why I got annoyed, you know? I'm like, they don't.
Yeah, understandably.
You know, there was even a time when, I think in book number 4, my dad wanted me to focus more on writing. And granted, I did have to improve my writing, but the logical thing would have been to have like a new book for that. Instead, so I never got to finish book number 4, which is okay, because now I have 50 drawing books. But at the time, it was like I gotta what, stop drawing in book number 4,
right,
to do this writing. So things could have been handled better. Actually, now I hear a little rustling, not too much, but now I have to pick up. It's okay. Hold on. So you know, so when I had to do that, it was a little annoying.
Well, I mean, this is an example of you telling a personal story or drawing from your personal life that a lot of other people can identify with.
Yeah. Because
a lot of people have had parents that have been not supportive. I mean, this was more than not supportive. I understand that. But like also people can identify with their creativity not being accepted or encouraged from their parents.
Yeah.
And so what this turns into, if I remember correctly, is almost like a revenge fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, technically it really happens. I mean, the film is fantasy, but the kid is drawing, my son, and the drawing comes to life.
Well, what I mean by, like, I might have a revenge fantasy, which of course I can't act it out, but it can be acted out on film.
Yeah.
So you're getting a lot of maybe kids might be thinking, oh, I wish I could just.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And this is what this film is. Almost like Inglourious Bastards when everyone had a Hitler revenge fantasy. Well, in that movie, it actually happened.
I think we all have that, though, right?
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know why I'm bringing that up.
That son of a... yeah. No, sorry, we're going to say?
No, so basically... See, here I like when the film...
it's from the monster's perspective.
The creepy basement. Yeah, where the drawings, which are of different characters and creatures... comes to life, basically.
Well, this one is just one drawing. So if you saw at the beginning...
Of the drawings.
I mean... There isn't, you know, Mitmaker. I can't even pronounce it. Where's that drawing? Is that the beginning? I think it's at the beginning.
Mitmaker, a lot of them come to
life.
Mitmaker,
right? I can't even pronounce my THs.
You only need one to attack.
Well, in this one, let's go to the drawing actually real quick, because I have a funny story about that. I drew that, obviously. It's
crazy.
As you can see, that's actually original drawing, I think, just for this film. I don't know if I still have it, which is okay. I have
so
all my...
So you drew it, not Andrew, and then we see in this film it looks like he's drawing it.
Yeah, so it Andrew draws, but he's not the biggest fan of it, as we mentioned. And go check out his interview. He didn't really get into it. He's still great. You know, I love him, and we do a lot of great movies together. And he's a great actor, and he's a hard worker. But he never got into drawing like I do. So I was like, okay, I'll draw it. That's fine. But yeah, it's one of those old film techniques. Did Andrew draw that?
I like that.
So it's like a weird, like, it's a cyclops with horns and like a drill arm and like cybernetics and a weird
spike through his
spike
head.
or maybe it's like a hammerhead.
Okay,
looking thing.
with a point on the
A
end.
point on
almost
the
like a weird beak.
Like it's not perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be. What would a child or teen draw? And usually this is, I still draw stuff like this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, it's not. It's not supposed to make sense.
Right.
This
yeah.
creature, like it wouldn't. Who knows if it would really exist?
Right. Well, it's a crazy, scary creature.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, he draws, and his dad is like abusive, verbal abusing, and then the creature, as you see, comes to life.
And then we see it through the creature's eyes. So that's when we start to see the greens and the colors, and you actually hear the creature heavy breathing in a way.
Yeah, I downloaded that from YouTube.
Oh, okay, that wasn't you.
Yeah, that wasn't. Yeah, I could do it now. Have a mic, but back this was filmed technically, I think in 2016. Mm-hmm. When I went upstate before I was leaving for the Coast Guard, and then it's not uploaded till June. It's not uploaded for like a whole year.
Oh wow!
So it's not. Okay. It's not filmed. It's filmed in 2016.
Yeah.
Uploaded in 2017, which is okay. It's all right.
Yeah. No, but it says a lot.
Yeah. So, would you want to go back to the basement? Yeah. So in the basement.
Oh, that's when like everything starts to look green, even the dad's skin tone.
Yeah, I think I messed up in editing where I couldn't get the exact color I had from when he was outside, but I was like, well, it's still the same.
No, I like it.
It's still the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's like when the monster. This is how the basement actually looks. We didn't need to edit. We didn't need to edit anything upstate.
It's a big basement, though.
Yeah, they have I've used that upstate house a lot for a lot of films you've seen for.
Wow. Yeah. No.
Music videos and
Yeah.
So I'm like.
Never stops yelling at his son.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, he's yelling at because he thinks it's his son in the costume. Which is ridiculous because it would probably, but that's how absent-minded he is.
Right, and another reason to yell at his son.
Yeah. He's like, put away the fucking costume. Now let me get a beer, and then he gets killed off. Now he's back outside, and there's a creature.
And then we see like the sky and the grass is kind of like a purpley pink. And
So he's like, I don't have a dad. What are we gonna do? He's like, well, I guess I could travel with you. I think he says or something like that.
In a way, the creature adopts him.
Yeah. Well, in a way, it's a lot darker.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't have a dad. Oh, it's like, you'll be my dad. Yeah. But it's like, because remember that Twilight Zone episode? I think we talked about it where the kid can make a wish, and he turned like his, the beginning. We'll talk about that. But like how he turned one of his people who was making fun of him into a jack-in-a-box.
Yeah, yeah.
Or he destroyed the moon. Mm-hmm. So I kind of got that, like, what if... But that kid was a lot more intentionally evil, I think.
Right, yeah, okay.
He was intentionally being a dick.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
For Andrew's character, he doesn't want to be like that. But he's... And then I like the ending. The ending is the beginning.
So he doesn't plan for this creature to come alive.
It channels.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but I picked this choice because this is the beginning of the end of the world, so to speak, in this universe. Mm-hmm. Because my whole thing was like, you'll be my new guardian. Mm-hmm. But this kid, if you look into it more, this kid has the power. So he has the power to whatever he draws will come to life. Meaning it's the beginning because he's going to keep drawing. Mm-hmm. And all these creatures are going to come to life.
And you kind of revisit that concept in The Myth Maker, which is part of the sequestered film.
Yeah.
It's different characters, I believe, but it's the concept of the creatures that are drawn coming alive.
Yeah, and that one's more PTSD related.
Right.
We're like sort of like, oops.
Whoops.
There we go. I don't want it to fall. Yeah, and like we'll talk about it a little bit, but yeah, definitely it's like, these things can be triggered, like these mystical powers of like creation can be triggered through, like, then they're both forms of kind of like PTSD, like it's verbal abuse, and then there's a different, like, there's verbal abuse through PTSD or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like they trigger these powers in people, and so these characters, yes, they're different, but they have the same ability where it's like they're like maybe artists and they draw, but then something happens verbally. Or they get a head injury or something, and now it's like these creatures are coming to life.
Right. Yeah.
But these creatures come to life based on negative emotions.
Right.
And
yeah.
because of that, like you see in Myth Maker, I can't even speak. like they take over. Do you see the dialogue on screen like, "Hey, Daddy, I destroyed a boat full of people."
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Daddy. Like they're like kids.
Right. Yeah.
Like this one is like a kid looking at like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill your dad because that's what you want. I'm your friend."
Right. Yeah.
Um,
And so the creature is more of a. It's not a father figure.
Yeah.
But it's more of an adult monster, so to speak.
Or yeah, it's like it has.
Yeah.
It has a childlike tendency, so sort of like
Right.
Frankenstein
Mm-hmm.
or Frankenstein's monster is very.
I get it. Okay. Yeah.
So Frankenstein's monster. I mean, these creatures
it's like
are.
it almost thinks like it's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I thought I should do that because you hired you.
Yeah.
Not realizing that it's murder.
Yeah. Even
You
though
know?
Frankenstein's monster, as you know, like I think only killed the kid by accident. I think in the
meant
novel,
well.
and but these they're taking it a step further. So they think they mean so it is in a sense an accident, but they keep doing it. So it's like, oh, let me kill this man because you don't like him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
The man is wrong. The dad is wrong. But then it starts to become more wrong when they're like, oh, let me blow up. Like I said in Mythmaker, I think there's a line. Oh, I blew up this boat, or I blew up this army station for you because he was dealing with PTSD.
Right. Yeah.
But so it almost becomes worse in a way. I like tackling those ideals.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, well, this movie I liked because it was film.
Yeah.
It's straight up horror.
Yeah.
But there is still an emotional connection there. Like, how much can an abused person take? And like, the answer isn't to snap, but I think we can identify with that. Like,
Yeah.
I want a monster to come and destroy him, but I really don't. But
Yeah. Well, that's and I'll say real quick about like the Captain Ego play I did. I know we're jumping around a little bit. We have one more video. But like Captain Ego to me was about daddy issues. You watch that.
Oh yeah, no, definitely the stage.
Yeah,
show?
The stage show.
Yeah.
And to me, I feel like to me, I think that my best movies or best work, and I think most artists can say this. Maybe I'm not speaking for every artist, obviously, but they come from a place inside.
Exactly.
So it is like dealing with these emotional issues or dealing with something funny, and I think that's why Captain Ego stands out to me so much, because it is it's an extension of me.
Right.
The drawing is an extension of me.
Exactly.
And plus I would like to be a space captain who saves people. That's
and wear a silver suit.
and wear a silver outfit and tight pants.
Yeah.
Which
that's
I
another story.
I do the tight pants.
Yeah.
But so I think those are going to be the best stories, So maybe that's why I said earlier, like, oh, maybe I'm not the biggest fan of Charm Master or Stamp the Buck. I still love them. But I think to me, as you know, I'm like, yes, I like those.
I get it now.
When people come up to you afterwards, wow, man, my dad was like that. Wow, man, somebody used to insult my drawing. I still love them all.
Well, that's the thing. Like for artists and making art, the more personal you get, the more universal it becomes, because your personal experience with your dad issues, so many people have experienced that. So you're opening up and getting personal is going to reach people.
Yeah. It's tough. Not everybody can do that, but artists, I think, I'm not saying it always has to be about that, as you've seen. Like I said, Stamp the Book or Charm Master.
Right.
They're not about like a deep, maybe not a super, super deep issue. They're fun. But I think it's important to be flexible, you know?
But those are maybe not personal from experiences that you've had with your dad, for example. But they're a basic human emotion. So, for example, charm, it may be simple, it may not be deep, it wasn't coming from abuse, but people get nervous before a date.
Oh, yeah.
So that's also universal.
Yeah.
And like the present,
pick a present.
The joy of giving a present and the joy of receiving a present, but also wanting to save face and hide it. Like this isn't like a deeply astounding thing, but it's also a sweet emotion that everyone has experienced, and it's nice to see how you portray it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So that's different, but it's also,
Yeah. I think it's important to be able to be flexible like that as well, because if I did all super serious, that'd be great, but I love that's not who I am. I can be silly, and then I can also be serious.
Well, like Stamp the Book too is just silly characters.
Yeah.
So we also just like to play and have fun and make voices.
Yeah, I love that.
And do characters. But that also expresses a frustrating situation that, have you ever been even in a bus station trying to get a ticket and there's someone...
You want to bring it closer?
Someone keeping you from doing that. So it's like a little snippet. It's not deep, but it's like, oh yeah, I know that feeling.
It's still fun. Like I said, well, actually, let's dive into the last one.
All right, what's
I
the
love
last one?
I love what we're talking about though. This is a great conversation, and I'm happy we're continuing to do this.
I just hope I've been holding my mic close
I know.
enough
I
to
hope.
capture it.
I hope that. No, it's been fine. It's always
Yeah.
the thing is I say that a lot. I'll pause, not pause real quick. I'll pause the video. But because I'm so new with audio issues, I'm like neurotic with like, does it sound
Right.
good? Do I have to edit? Do I have to? I will.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm like, is it too close? Is it rustling? But hey, this could be a film.
Well, that's
this
good.
This is a sequestered film right here.
Yeah, that's
you know?
it.
Yeah.
It depends what the prompt is.
The prompt. Yeah.
The prompt is audio.
I hate this logo at the beginning. Hold on, go back. I'll tell you why, real quick. Not the design. My friend designed it, but because I realized I gave him a bad picture.
Oh, okay.
If you go back to the Dojo Inc. logo, I don't know why it won't let me
see.
go back. Hold on.
It's like your head growing out of a head.
I know. Well, it's like I wasn't the biggest fan of my smile back then, but then also like I think the way it was like photoshopped. I like everything else. I like the little Yoda and the Yeti and whatever this is, and then Dojo Inc. But I'm always like, oh man, why did I give that crappy photo
Oh man.
of me like with the hair? It's okay. Anyway, yeah. So
Too late.
Encounter with the Devil, 2010, 1,000 views, classic. Tell me about this. Tell me.
Well, here's another one that's more on the creepy side, but this is filmed in black and white.
Yes.
And I think the first thing that I think of seeing it now with the volume down is the mood.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a noir. It's not super dark black and white. It's like a silvery kind of tone.
Yeah.
We see Cody is the actor. He's sitting outside and there's a breeze. It must be spring, and you can hear what are they called?
The wind chimes. Yeah, they're in the back.
And so during the whole shoot, which is I believe just one scene, you hear the wind chimes, and it just adds to like the kind of quiet, creepy. And we're just in this like there's almost no background noise, even though you're filming outside and
yeah, I'm surprised
in
it was
city,
actually
like not the heart of the city, but still, it's slow, quiet, and creepy. And so Cody's sitting in this backyard, and this man appears with the what are those?
The Kanye West glasses, yeah.
Glasses.
Jesus.
Well,
Classic.
they're also like super 80s kind of looking.
Yeah.
Anyway, and he sits down and he is saying that he's the devil.
Yeah, so he interrupts real quick. Oops. Okay. Oh, there we go. Because it's fallen twice. It's not an audio recording if we don't. It's in right.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, you talk real quick.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, with this, he's talking on the cell phone. This man in white, who says to be the devil, comes in. He posts out of nowhere, sort of like how like Pink Dog or other characters will pull up like or something. I think he does that. I have to remember. But he appears out of nowhere. He interrupts the phone conversation that Cody's having with somebody.
Yeah. Here's what I like. You mentioned that he's a man in white, and he's wearing the white Kanye glasses. He's also wearing a white T-shirt, but it's a Beatles Abbey Road T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I had noticed that before, but I like that, like in the devil mode, because we think of the Beatles as like maybe they were following like a kind of a hippie guru, kind of love, peace, and tenderness. But what if they were actually devil worshippers?
Oh yeah, imagine.
Or the turn of that. What if this devil actually was a Beatles fan? So
probably.
I find that interesting.
I also think, it's hard to explain like wardrobe options because I was like, I have this shirt on, it's okay.
Yeah. I'm probably reading more into it, but I enjoy that. So.
Well, probably now I would have done it with like just a V-neck. I wouldn't have done like if I had a white V-neck or a black V-neck, or something. But it adds like because I don't think originally I wanted him to be the man in white, but I think to me it makes more sense now that he's a man in white.
Yeah.
And so I retcon that later of like, yes, he is the man in white, even if that's not my original idea, because I don't know, the devil in my universe wouldn't really do this.
Right. Okay.
But the man in white, I believe, would. So that's why I retconned it later. Like, yes, this is the man in white, and it's sort of him, how he's Sunglasses Jim, how he's this character.
Yeah.
It's sort of like there's a grand scheme.
Okay.
Like how he messes with the Rage Prince. So this is like perhaps Cody could have been the first Rage Prince host. Like he was trying to get him to be the Rage Prince.
Right. Okay.
Or trying to make him his body that he would consume, or like use him as a vessel.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But actually, I think he's kind of a good guy in this, in a weird way, right?
Yeah, in a way. Well,
it's hard to explain.
There's one line that I like that I always say where he's describing hell.
Yeah.
And how he's like, do you think no one comes and visits? He's like, do you think I like hell? It's dirty, it's messy, and it's crowded. I don't need more people coming down there because it's already overcrowded.
Yeah.
And I found that to be a fresh perspective on hell.
Yeah,
I don't know if I should say fresh, but
Yeah.
you know, it's a different perspective on like, oh wow, he doesn't want more people down there because it's so crowded. He wants to be comfortable. He doesn't give a hoot about anybody else, perhaps. But at least he wants to be comfortable. And I found that interesting and fun.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to do a different perspective. Not saying like, oh, we gotta support the demons or support hell. Just like, what if, because there is history always views, the devil was good and then he was bad. Even though this is a different character,
right?
A man in white. But I wanted to like, what if the man in white portrayed the devil differently?
Right. No, I like that.
And like I said, I'm not saying like, the devil's a stand-up guy or whatever he was, a demon. But what if like he did have different points of view? Even though now we know it's a different character, obviously from what I've said and what the man in white says that he's portrayed.
Right. Yeah.
It was like more like, let's see a different perspective from this character who is super evil.
Well, it's almost like fleshing out his universe a little bit. Well, how does the devil feel about hell? No one asks about how the devil feels.
Yeah.
So now we have an opinion.
Because like, what if like he was, how he's like a fallen angel? What if he still has more traits of that?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So, but like
maybe he's pissed off. He's like, "Why me? Why did I get picked to be the fallen angel? I don't like this job."
Like he doesn't want to be it.
Yeah.
So, but basically in this film, Cody, I believe, killed Richard's character by accident. I think it was like car accident or something.
Oh, that's why he's bringing him back.
So Cody, then Richard forgives him, and then, but like I said, how it's interesting it is because it is the man in white. I have to dive into more why he did this. I think we know why he did Sunglasses Jim. But this one, I have to dive into a little more, I think.
Okay.
Why was he the devil in this instance?
When you say dive in, does that mean another film?
I think so. Or have the man in white explain,
Okay.
Because like I said, we know Sunglasses Jim, he was drawing bad people into that house, and he had the robber, the robber kills himself with the metal box at the end.
Yeah.
And he has his talking toy army. So we think he was trying to do just something a little different,
right?
A different vessel that would perhaps draw in bad people. But like I said, I think having the man, and then he was like, he realizes, I gotta call my family after.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm trying to remember. Doesn't he call his mother or something?
Yeah, he calls and then it fades out. I like the shot of like.
Well, I like the filming of this as well. You know, I like the slow shots. I like the effects, even when you snap and the friend that he accidentally killed appears.
Yeah.
And, definitely the wind chimes. This is one with great sound.
Yeah, it looks good too.
The wind chimes with the black and white.
Yeah.
And the clarity in the slow filming.
I would think because I'm trying to still put all the pieces together. A lot of the man in white story is, I do know. But I'm thinking like perhaps there was an ulterior motive to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think there was a bad, like a because man in white is a conflicted person, being, creature, then God. And so I think this is perhaps another way to try and mess with the multiverse in a way.
Oh, okay.
Because
yeah.
I think I've told you like man in white powers in universe 1, which I don't know which universe this is yet because I'm still figuring stuff out. I figured out most of it, as you know, but there's still aspects where I need to sit down and be like, what do I really want that to be?
Wow.
And this is one of those aspects. But I do think it's another thing of him showing that he can mess with people in the universe and alter things in the universe. For instance, if he didn't come in to help Cody's character probably would have went down a darker path. But I believe he wants to make. Now I'm thinking about it. He wants to be the God, because I've told you like his plan is to be the original God.
Man in white.
Yeah, because he's like the second God created, or the first God created by the real God, the original God, the OG God. So I believe this is him flexing his muscles. Of posing as another character, posing as another thing. Like he's posed as Sunglasses Jim. He's posing as the devil, with limited powers, of course, as you see. So his goal is to get to God and become the rightful God. So I think this is him trying to play the role of God, so to speak. Like, I'm going to help you. You can't do this. You can't do that. Blah, 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 blah.
But you weren't thinking this when you actually made the film? This is just...
Yeah, this is coming out now. Well,
oh, wow. Okay.
So this is coming out a few years ago when I changed it up in the story.
Okay.
Because in my sci-fi universe, I also, besides having the man in white, I do have the devil. And the devil actually takes over. It's called the Darkness era.
Okay.
In my universe, where the demons come out and they all take over. They all destroy the human and space forces in like 2 days, a week or whatever. And I think. So like I said, originally this was supposed to be like kind of that same devil.
Okay.
But I changed it because I think the devil's a very different character, and he redeems himself in that storyline in the sci-fi. Okay. Because the man in white, I wanted to make the man in white the big bad.
Okay.
So what if the man in white was posing as the devil and trying to help people, but the real devil wouldn't do that. Not at this point.
No, he
because
wouldn't.
The man in white.
No, that's an interesting point.
Because the man in white, like I said, wants to be God, and then so he's like, "Ooh, let me play nice and alter this dude's path because he's going down a bad path, and that makes me look better."
Right.
God can't interfere in the universe. That's a lot. But,
no, I know. It's it's interesting watching your film and then kind of coming up with
because God
new
can't
perspectives yourself.
Yeah, God in my universe God can't interfere anymore because he was blocked by the man in white. But the man in white can't get to universe number 1, which has a portal to God.
Right.
So the man in white is always trying to mess around, and when he's in universe number 1, if this is universe number 1, or some universes, his power is limited. In some universes, he could destroy with a snap.
Right.
But in some universes, like Sunglasses Jim or Encounter with the Devil, his powers are limited, where he can transfer in and out, and he can cause illusions, and he can bring back people. Who knows if Richard's character is even that dead person? It could just be a false illusion.
I kind of was thinking that, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot in the grand scheme. But if you watch it alone, you said you could watch it alone, right?
Without definitely standalone. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you watch it alone, it's the devil. The devil's trying to do good, and then he tries to help him. If you watch it in the grand scheme,
right? Yeah.
It's a lot more complicated, but it makes sense.
Right. Well, that's what's great about a lot of these films is you can watch them standalone and have one interpretation and enjoy it, but they also fit into the scheme of the bigger story.
Yeah.
That's why they're on my list.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, this is also a little fun fact. Cody, me, and Richard only appear on screen, I think, in 2 videos.
And this is one of them.
This is the second one because, and I was talking to Andrew and Patricia as well about this. That basically, like I had Patricia, Andrew, and Cody were the top 3 people who I worked with, but they all 3 never appear on screen together at the same time, and it's just because of like timing.
Right.
Like they weren't all in the same place at the same time. It's hard, especially Andrew being a kid.
Film? You said?
Safety Dance music video.
Oh, okay.
So we're all 3 on screen together in a music video, and then I think this is the second one that was cool.
I like the fade out special effects.
That was so we're not on screen. We're only on screen twice, but there's a lot of videos we're in, but we're not on screen together all at once. Like me and Cody are on screen together. Me and Patricia are on screen together. Me and Andrew are on screen together, but they're never on screen together at once.
Wow. So this is a rare clip.
Rare. And the Safety Dance music video. I could have filmed, like, Andrew came to one of my improv shows and then Cody was there. And I realized I could have filmed, like, a quick video. I forgot to. And then also there was a one time when Andrew was at my house with Cody, but we were, like, playing games and watching films. But there's a photo of all 3 of us together. So there's been, like, 2 or 3 moments. And then I just never realized I should film.
Oh,
so
too bad.
It's okay. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
This is a great shot right here, though.
Oh, I like that shot.
The 3 of you all together.
Yeah, it's like the YouTube, the different YouTube worlds colliding.
No, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. God, anything else on this film?
No, I think
we did it all.
I think we did it all.
Oh wow.
I think
okay.
Wow.
Let's go back to the list.
Looks like we made it.
It's I gotta go all the way back. Jesus Christ.
You do? Can we not?
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Wow. Anything else you want to talk about real quick? I mean, we talked about, like I said, this was a special episode. I mean, we're not going to wrap it up right now, but we will wrap it up soon.
Mm-hmm.
But really diving into Carolyn's favorite videos and then my perspectives on these videos. You know what I mean? Because it would be hard to go through everyone. So I was like, Carolyn, pick 10. But I love talking about them, and I'm glad that you love them as well. But what were you gonna say?
Well, I mean, just to kind of sum up the talk about the films is that on this list there's a variety. You know?
Yeah.
Like there's creepy horror, there's action, there's multiverse, there's pure funny.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that ties them all together for me is usually I have some sort of emotional connection.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, like I said, they're all great. I love the characters, and I like that they can stand alone.
Yeah.
You know. And that they can also be part of a bigger picture. Most of them, not all. Some of them just are purely standalone.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, I appreciate that. You know, and like I said, they've all been fun to make, even if it's not one of my favorites. But like I said, recently, as you've seen in the films or whatever it is, like, you know, Multiverse Shield or Randolph being trapped in a house, I'm really going for way more multiverse building because, you know, as I've told you, one of my goals is a feature film using most of my old videos, old films, with new footage and connecting it into one kind of multiverse film. Because I realize I have so many, like awesome short films, and as you know, I'm writing a lot of feature films and writing a lot of bigger projects. But I said, what if there was like one film where it was like they all had these different videos together? And I'm like, because that'd be great. And I could do it easily. And so that's my plan.
Well, I love the idea of using all the old clips and to putting it together into something new with some new footage as well.
Exactly.
And you have all of this material and you love it and it's great. And it's great that you're going to repurpose it in a way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we talked a lot. Yeah.
I was just going to say really quick, isn't it nice, though, that these aren't necessarily your favorites? Isn't it nice that other people
have favorites?
Can have a favorite that wasn't your favorite. So that means that even the ones that you're less gung-ho about or in love with, other people are in love with.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That's actually really cool.
Well, and everyone has a story. Like, honestly, I could talk about every video. Like, if we were, like, to sit down and go do all 100 short films or vlogs or whatever, and there's always, like, a unique backstory. You know, this day, on this day happened, and that day. And I think it's important to talk about that, you know, because I think all the films are fun, and they all have great stories behind them. Why did I wear those glasses, or that Mikey the Rat, or this toy, or that emotion, or why did the wind chimes go off? So I think, and I've never really gotten to share those stories. You know, so I'm happy to share them.
Yeah, I'm happy to be able to share them. Yeah.
Ooh, well, anything else? Because I think I feel it in my back. We've been sitting too long.
I think it's time for a snack.
All right. I think it's time for a snack. Well, do you want to promote anything before we leave? All right. Instagram?
Yeah.
I'll put it in the info.
You could put it in the
info. Cool.
Yeah, we've got some improv shows coming up.
Eventually, when this is released.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's it. Well, I'll take us out then. Thanks for listening, everybody. This has been another episode of Reflections. I'm Donovan S., and this is, say your name again for the fam.
My name is Carolyn V.
Ooh, Carolyn V. And this has been a special episode of Reflections, Top 10 Carolyn videos and short films. Really great to do. I'd love to, maybe we need to do another one with Carolyn's other top 10 films.
We absolutely can.
Because that'd be great, because I feel like I always have a great discussion with Carolyn, and we can always dive into videos. So maybe we should do that. A sequel next time.
A sequel to this?
Yeah.
Well,
10 more films. I got 10 more stories.
You've got plenty more.
I've got
films.
100 more stories.
We
Jesus
could make
Christ.
This a long.
100. Every film. Let's talk about every film in depth. Yeti versus Alien. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, let's start now.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, thanks for listening. No. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna just say thank you so much for having me and for having the great conversation.
You're
awesome.
awesome.
It was really fun, and make more movies.
I appreciate it. Yes, more films are coming. I'm gonna take us out. Thank you for listening, everybody. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Donovan TPS. Subscribe to this podcast wherever it may be uploaded. And have a great night. Stay positive. If you ever need to talk, send a message because life is tough, but you're tougher. And thank you. See you later, alligator.